Oh, I for the test. Audio test. Okay. Audio test 1, 2, 3. Hi everyone. Welcome to my video. My live stream, sorry. It's gonna be like what? 4-hour live stream? I hope so. Yeah. Hope that everyone has
Hello Internet! Welcome to Film Theory.
Okay. This hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory. Let's see if there's audio. Okay, open. Let's go. Is there any? Please work. Alright, you can hear my voice. Huh. Is it lagging? Is it really lagging that bad? Oh gosh. It's lagging that. It's really lagging that bad. Oh gosh. You can see my finger is moving so slowly. Oh gosh. That's not good. That is really not good. Oh yeah! It's still recording. What am I doing? Alright. Hope that everyone has
Hello Internet! Welcome to Film.
Alright, awesome, good. So can see me do this, hopefully can do this like audio check. Okay, good. Let's start. I should prepare all this beforehand. I should prepare all this beforehand. Oh my gosh. Next time. Gosh, this is so awkward. So how is everyone doing? Hope that everyone have a wonderful day. Let's start. If only I have a secondary device for me to double check. Let's start. How should I start this? I shall start this with Rick and Morty, right? Why not like right? Or is it like reverse? Something like that. Okay, this can be my introduction. Hello everyone, well it's me, and today let's unearth the truth about his family. Alright, let's go. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's unearth the truth about his family. Rick and Morty, let's go.
Hello Internet! Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory. Hi.
Show officially tolerated by Dan Harmon. Sure, Rick and Morty Season 3's finale may have just aired, but today my sights are set on the episode that came before, the ABCs of Beth, which had...
Alright, please remember that this video came out in the year 2017, so a lot of things have changed. But it's really good to look at 4 years ago stuff, so let's go!
One of the most ambiguous endings in the history of the series and had the potential to forever change everything we thought we knew about a member of the show's main cast. Now at this point, y'all know that where there's ambiguity in a show, there are theories to be had, and I think that I have this one pretty well solved. You can pull the wool over everyone else's eyes there, Dan, but not this guy. After last week's collab, we're like totally soul bonded now. Or at least I like to think so.
Do you understand how serious Crutabulon's soul bonding is?
The character in question is Beth, the unfulfilled mother of the Smith family, who gets a chance to revisit Fruipyland, her imaginary childhood world with the single dumbest name possible.
You know, if you're so great at naming things, why don't you do it from now on?
While there, Beth is horrified to learn that
He's like, ouch, burn himself.
Fruipyland is now ruled over by her childhood friend Tommy, who she may or may not have tried to kill out of jealousy as a kid.
You want to see the honey swamp? Yes! Well, I want to see you dead.
Huh, well, that's interesting.
Fake news.
In order to survive in this fantasy world, Tommy has had to resort to an endless cycle of incest and cannibalism. It's basically the most disturbing version of Jumanji ever.
I'm an overweight middle-aged man. Wait a second, where's my phone?
Okay, second most disturbing version of Jumanji ever. Fast forward to the end of the episode. Beth tries to bring Tommy back to reality in order to reunite him with his family and save his father's life. His father, who happens to be on death row, supposedly guilty for Tommy's disappearance. Tommy, though, refuses to leave his incest kingdom, and Beth has no choice but to gruesomely finish the job that she started back when she was like 7. Rick suggests that they solve the dead Tommy problem by creating a clone of Tommy with the finger that he so happily donated to Beth during her murderous rampage, thereby acquitting Tommy's father of the child murder charges. They do so, and with an innocent man freed, a family reunited, and the day saved, Beth spirals into some existential angst.
Dad, I'm out of excuses to not be who I am. So, who am I? What do I do?
Rick then drops a bombshell, saying that the same process that they used to create the clone of Tommy could also be used to create a clone of Beth, allowing Beth to go off on whatever soul-searching journeys that she wants, while the clone takes care of the kids back at home.
No! You're trying to say that they cloned one of the main characters? What the...
After staring at some photos of her family, Beth comes to a decision. And then the show immediately cuts away without us ever knowing what that decision is. The next time that we see her and Rick, though, they're behaving very differently. Very affectionate, even dropping the dreaded L word.
I love you, Dad.
Love you too, sweetie.
The episode ends and leaves us with one question. Are 3 boobs truly better than 2? Oh, sorry, that's the B storyline. Leaves us...
Okay, let's keep this family-friendly, wholesome. Thank you so much.
With one question: did Beth choose to stay, or did she replace herself with a clone? It may seem like the creators of the show have made it impossible for us to know for sure, but the show actually gives us all the information that we need to figure it out definitively.
Interesting. So did she stay? I want you to stay. Oh, I want you to stay.
Throughout this episode, clocks and references to exact units of time are everywhere. First, we get a glimpse of the clock in the execution chamber when Beth and Rick prevent Tommy's father from being lethally injected. It reads 1:56, and this gives us our starting point. We can assume that shortly after that, Rick and Beth start to head home. We know that they drive home and don't use the portal gun because we see them actually walk through the front door. This also makes sense since they were transporting Tommy, who needed to stay unaware of Rick's crazy scientific schemes. So we know for a fact that they were at the execution chamber around 2 p.m., and it would take some time for them to return from the execution site back to their home, where Rick eventually makes his cloning offer. But how long would that take? Well, we can calculate the distance between the 2 locations. We know for a fact, thanks to Justin Roiland's Twitter account, that the Smith residence is canonically located in the suburbs outside of Seattle, Washington. And this is a weird factoid that I never really thought about, but makes a lot of sense now that I'm researching it. It's not like every city has their own execution chamber just waiting to be used. In fact, there is only one execution chamber in the entire state of Washington, and it's located at the state penitentiary in Walla Walla, Washington, a 4.5-hour drive away from the Seattle area.
Alright, so it's around 4.5 hours.
That means that even if Beth were in a rush to get home after the 2 p.m. execution, the soonest that she would be arriving back at the Smith residence
Evening or at night time?
would be around 6:30 p.m. Mark it down because it's the crucial point in our timeline. When they get back to the house, Beth indicates that she's exhausted and ready to call it a day. It's only after this point that Rick gives Beth the talk and reveals that he has the ability to replace her with a clone. We know from earlier in the episode with Tommy that the process of growing a clone takes around 3 hours. Also worth pointing out, it's an oddly suspicious detail for the writers to include there, right? Almost like they wanted us to know this information for some reason. Anyway, regardless, this means that the absolute soonest that Rick could possibly have a clone ready to replace her with would be around 9:30 p.m. provided everything goes perfectly. But
Okay, now that's a bit weird.
wait, freeze frame the clip of the kids coming home at the end of the episode. Look out the window. It's broad daylight. Does that look like 9:30 p.m. anywhere in the world to you? Even at Seattle's northern latitude, which does give it longer days during the summer, the longest day of the year has its sunset at around 9 o'clock p.m. Even then, the longest day of Seattle's year, by 9:45, it would already be dark outside, which means that the final scene we see of the Smith family has to happen at around 8:30 p.m. at the latest. It's certainly enough time for Beth to get back from the Washington State Penitentiary, but definitely not enough time for Rick to have created a clone to replace her in that final scene. Ergo, the Beth that we see in this final scene must be
The next days.
The real deal. She is 100% authentic Beth Smith. It turns out she decided to stay at home and be a mother to her children rather than head out on some wacky, fantastical, soul-searching adventure. The adventure she chose for herself in that moment was motherhood.
Oh, that's so good. You know, being so loving, being a mother for your family, for your children's. Now that's called good parenting. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's deal with some challenges that I'm sure I'm gonna hear in the comments. First, maybe all this is happening on a separate day, but we can prove for a fact that it's not. At the beginning of the episode, we hear that the kids are late for their custody weekend with Jerry.
Aren't you guys supposed to be at your father's for custody weekend?
And we hear on the TV that the execution is happening, quote, tomorrow.
Child murderer Joseph Eli Lipnip is scheduled to die tomorrow by lethal injection.
So we know that the episode is starting on a Saturday and the execution is happening on a Sunday. We see Saturday night midway through the episode, so we know that everything around the clones is happening on Sunday, the day of Tommy's father's execution. We also know that the kids are headed back home Sunday evening and not Monday morning because the pizza place Ronaldo's is closed because it's too late.
I think Arnaldo's is closed.
And lastly, we know that this show doesn't cheat time. Dimension hopping, yes, but messing around with time is a big no-no on Rick and Morty. Just take it from my buddy Dan.
Time travel is a real shark jumper.
Plus, Rick even reminds us that
True, you can mess around with different dimensions, but not different timelines. Quite a sharp jumper.
at the end of the episode that there are no time travel shenanigans to be had.
By the way, that wasn't time travel.
Which means that all things considered, we can definitively say that Beth is real. It was like the show's creators were drawing our attention to these details to ask us to solve the mystery on our own. Just like I'm drawing your attention to the subscribe button right now so that you can solve the mystery of subscribing on your own. That way you can be notified of more Rick and Morty theories in the future. Click it, and while you're down there next to the comments, let me know in 3 seconds whether you think at the end of the episode was Beth real or was she a clone? Just one word, real or clone. Curious how many of you I was able to convince. Now, I know that some fans have been picking apart that scene, trying to figure out whether the Beth we see at the end is a clone based on her behavior, debating about whether she's acting more affectionate than the real Beth would. But in this episode, we don't need to psychoanalyze anyone to come up with the truth. The solution was right there, waiting to come out. It was all just a matter of time. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. And by the way, special thanks to Reddit user DeathsComing23 who got me to look into this theory on the Game Theorist subreddit. Your suggestion to look at the clocks was awesome. And also, just as a reminder, I don't talk about it all that much, but if you guys have a theory request or just a theory of your own, the best way for me to see it is actually on the Game Theorist or Film Theorist subreddit. Yes, some loyal theorists actually created one for film theory too. I'm trolling around there pretty frequently to see what you guys are excited to see covered and if you have any great theory starters of your own, so check them out if you haven't. And hey, if you missed my collaboration with Rick and Morty creator himself, Dan Harmon, picking apart the science of Pickle Rick, well, that video link is on your left. To the right is something that YouTube has algorithmically determined that you'll want to watch next. Let's see how good of a job it does. See you next week for something that's a little bit more emotive.
Oh, what rhymes with that? Emoji? Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this video has been very interesting to watch. A lot of thought-provoking stuff. Especially when the writers, the producers, the people that created it actually redirects to talk to you. It's not time travel, by the way. It's like breaking the fourth wall. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory! And cut! And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye! Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye! Subscribe! Subscribe. Thank you. Over here. Okay, so video ends. Good. Now let's see if everything can work out. A bit awkward, but still. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's unearth the truth about his family. Rick and Morty, let's go.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory. Hi. Alright, redirect, like, share, encouragement for my work. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory! And cut! Okay, good. Okay, good. And it's always good to double check your work first. So awesome. Next video. Next video is Emoji.
Emoji Movie, a works
80 minutes. It's an 80 minutes video. Oh my goodness, 80 minutes video. Wow. Huh. Wait, who is this? With Jack Films. Huh, interesting. Emoji Movie. Alright, let's go. Transform feet. Okay. And today, Emoji Movie. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Jack's Films. PS. I shall include a PS. PS P.S. Thanks, Jack Films. PS. Thanks, Jack Films. Alright. Feet. Transform. Centralize. How should I put this? Hello everyone, it's me, and today, what do you know about? What do you know about? What do you? Okay. What do you? Just one. How's everyone doing? Chat. Hello everyone, it's me, and today, what do you know about? Hello everyone, it's me. What do you know about? Hello everyone, it's me. What do you know about the film, the Emoji Movie? PS, thanks Jack Films. Okay, let's go. Let's start. Okay. Emoji! Hi everyone, it's me! Okay, one more time. Sorry, one more time. Emoji! Hi everyone, it's me! And today, what do you know about... Sorry. Hello everyone, it's me. What do you know about the Emoji Movie? Right. Emoji! Emotes! Hi everyone, it's me! What do you know about the Emoji Movie? PS, thanks Jack Films. Let's start!
The Emoji Movie, A work so completely devoid of wit, style, intelligence, or basic entertainment value that it makes that movie based on the Angry Birds app seem like a pure artistic statement by comparison. RogerEbert.com. The Emoji Movie is so bad it makes us want to yell at strangers on the street. I don't think I can say anything funny about this because it makes me want to die. The Verge. Make no mistake, the Emoji Movie is very, very, very bad. IndieWire. So bad, it should be illegal. Oh wait, it actually is illegal. That quote's from me, and I'm gonna prove to you why today. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet! Welcome to Film Theory! Hi!
A show best represented by the sad clown emoji. You see, he's sad because he lost custody of his kids. That's the way this show makes you feel, like a lonely, lonely, crying clown. Speaking of things that'll make you depressed, the Emoji Movie, the worst reviewed movie of 2017 and the 30th most successful movie of 2017 at the box office this year, raking in over $85 million so far. Cue the Make It Rain emoji. Just goes to show you that if you talk about something enough, it just grows stronger. Is there a Trump emoji that I could show here?
Okay, yep, this video did not age that well. Sorry.
Seems pertinent. Anyway, there's no denying that this tale of an emoji who just can't quite fit in was a bad movie. Lame, lazy, formulaic, that much is clear. But the question I'm posing to you today is whether the Emoji Movie should have been deemed illegal. And I'm not clickbaiting you or anything, I am legitimately asking the question of whether the Emoji Movie breaks legal requirements put in place by the government to protect viewers from the evil scourge that's savagely deflowering the good old USA. Sponsored content. Or, to use the official term, embedded advertising. Now,
Okay, sponsored content. Embedded advertising.
obviously, over my 6 years of being on YouTube, I have done my fair share of sponsored videos, be it an end slate promoting a product like Dollar Shave Club, or a full-on episode dedicated to a theory I've crafted for a specific movie, TV show, or game, like the recent DuckTales episode over here on Film Theory. And here's the thing, sponsorships are essential for helping to supplement the income of channels, and for me, it ensures that I'm able to help pay the team of researchers and editors who help me produce game theory and film theory every week, since at this point, that's what YouTube demands for channels to stay relevant. But
Wait, I sincerely agree with him. With a lot of research and with a lot of editing, it's very time consuming and not one person cannot do it all within a certain limit of time. So it's better to have one person, two more person, three more, four more, five more, something like that.
But regardless, in the process of doing those promotional segments, I've had to become intimately familiar with the proper way of disclosing different styles of branded partnerships, because there are very strict guidelines for how you make an audience aware that those are ads. You see, in the US, we have the Federal
So how do you make the audience be aware that it is an ad? Okay.
Trade Commission, or FTC, and the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, who come up with the rules that anyone who produces a piece of content has to follow in order to ensure that the audience is able to tell that the brand paid to be there. And it doesn't even have to be payment. Even if they provided free goods or some other consideration like cross-promotion, you still gotta make the audience aware of that sort of thing.
Oh, true. You must make the viewers be aware about it so that aka cover your 12, cover your 6, yeah.
The underlying rationale here is that if I sip a Diet Coke and say, man, that is a crisp, clean taste, but Diet Coke paid for that placement, I might just be saying it because they told me to. But if I say it and promote it across 6 years worth of videos and they didn't pay for any of that, well, you can just assume that I'm an addict. Because I am. Me disclosing that they partnered with me before the ad run allows you as the audience to be a bit more critical of the promotion, and there are government protections in place to ensure that you as the viewer aren't being tricked or misled. But then I went to see the Emoji Movie, and let me be clear, it was for research purposes only, and I promptly watched puppies playing with kittens to serve as eye bleach afterwards, and watching the movie, I couldn't help but be dumbfounded by the number of blatant product integrations that were happening without any sort of disclosure. Things that that, were I to do them, would immediately get my video flagged and fined by the FTC, prompting a swarm of angry judge emoji followed by years of jail time emoji and tons of money flying away emoji. So today...
Okay, that's a lot of emojis in the episode about emojis, so yeah, I get it.
I'm analyzing the product integrations in the movie to prove that they're actually breaking FTC and FCC requirements to determine whether the movie that's so bad it's bad is also bad from a legal standpoint too. Anytime you see a brand appear anywhere, like how everyone in Twilight mysteriously drives Volvos or how James Bond abandoned his
chicken and stirred
martinis in exchange for a bright green Heineken bottle, it falls under the classification of embedded advertising. The term embedded advertising basically covers two things: product placements and product integrations. In product placement, the product pays a fee or offers some other consideration and gets their brand, logo, or product into the movie. Their product then basically becomes a prop, like Reese's Pieces in E.T., or those seamlessly integrated Dunkin' Donuts cups on America's Got Talent, or...
So that's interesting. The more you know. Okay, please do remember that this video came out in the year 2017, and right now it's in the year 2021. So that might be a bit difference in terms of the laws and regulations involved. So please do remember. Thank you so much.
Literally once every 10 frames in any Transformers movie. It's meant to seem like an accident, like, oh look, these things exist in the real world and they just so happen to show up in this scene.
You like music? The pill.
But of course, it's not an accident. In fact, Reese's paid for each of those pieces, spending $1 million to help promote the movie to be included in that iconic scene from E.T. So that's option 1, product placement. Option 2 is product integration, where the brand is actively incorporated into the story or dialogue. Take for instance one of my favorite examples, Snapple appearing in 30 Rock, where they talk directly about the benefits of Snapple.
We're not doing that. We're not compromising the integrity of the show to sell.
Wow, this is Diet Snapple?
I only date guys who drink Snapple.
We all love Snapple. Lord knows I do.
Or Little Nicky using Popeye's chicken to save the Earth from demons. Or this iconic moment that's close to a lot of our hearts.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
And again, if the brand doesn't pay to be there, it doesn't count. Like me saying how much I still love drinking Diet Coke. Lonely, unsponsored, rejected by the sweet, sweet cola company of my dreams, Diet Coke. So now we turn back to the Emoji Movie and one of the biggest, most glaring examples of embedded advertising in the film. Everyone's grandma's favorite mobile game, Candy Crush. Let's look at this scene a little bit closer to see what the FTC and FCC have to say about whether this merits a sponsorship disclosure. At the beginning, you can clearly see the Candy Crush logo, which means we've already definitely crossed into product placement territory. But then the movie directly says the name of the app,
Candy Crush.
and the characters directly talk about the functionality of the game.
And we can't match him with any yellows, or else...
Then, after that, the emoji character literally has to win the game to forward the plot of the movie. This clearly falls under category 2, product integration. We also know that none of this was an accident. King, the company who owns Candy Crush, very publicly teamed up with the Emoji Movie to do one of the biggest cross-promotions in the game's history, even creating special Emoji Movie levels in the game to promote the film. So what does the FTC guidelines have to say about integrations like this? First, you need to disclose everything up front. To quote directly from the FTC guidelines, an endorsement would be covered by the FTC Act if an advertiser or someone working for an advertiser pays you or gives you something of value to mention a product. If you receive free products or other perks with the expectation that you'll promote or discuss the advertiser's products, you must disclose. This is literally on the front page of the FTC disclosure site. So how did the Emoji Movie miss this? Remember, it doesn't even say they have to like the product. If it appears, if you mention it, it counts and needs disclosure. But who knows, maybe they did disclose. Maybe they did it in the movie credits. Those things go on forever, so it must be in there somewhere, right? Right? Oh look, there it is, in that giant block of text 5 minutes into the credits. But that's not gonna cut it in the eyes of the FTC. They emphasize over and over again in their rules and FAQ that disclosures need to be clear, hard to miss, and accurately represent the
Yeah, I
relationship.
think I muted myself just now. I need to redo this video again. I mean, it's good that it's only 10 minutes. It's only halfway through. Let's redo this video again. Alright, let's go. Yeah, I think. Did I mute myself? Yeah, I think I mute myself. Sorry. Gosh, what am I doing? Gosh. Don't have what to do. This one, Bobino, this one. I'm constantly afraid of the audio part, you know. Extremely worried about it. Just a moment, research that. What's my phone doing? This happens all the time, eh. Next time I don't off it. I just charged my phone, eh. Okay, bingo. It's on. Okay, I need to see if it's ongoing because after all this is still a live stream. Correct? After this is still a live stream. Oh gosh, it's so hot right now. I have to close the fan. I have to close the windows, I have to close the aircon, I have to close everything. Gosh. I need to start earning money now, gosh. Hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. Okay, all is good. This is good. I'm watching my own video. Right. I don't understand. I don't understand that. What am I doing? Oh, sorry. Okay, one viewer. Okay, that one viewer is me, of course, definitely. I want to. It's always a good thing to double check. So I have a phone to double check what I'm looking at. Live. Yeah. Subscribe. Okay, everything's good. The first feed that comes up. Hopefully everything's good. Alright. Once more. Am I ready? Yeah, I think I'm ready. Let's go. Emoji! Emotes! Hi everyone, it's me! And what do you do? What do you know? Sorry, what do you know about the emoji? The Emoji Movie? Thanks, Jack Films. Should I include Jack Films? Know about the Emoji Movie. Sorry, I didn't change this. Oh gosh, I should have. Emoji. Then feed the screen. So this is all the way big. Hello everyone, it's me. Emoji! What do you know? Sorry. Hello everyone, it's me. Emoji! What do you know about the Emoji Movie? Alright. Okay, sounds good, sounds good. Hi everyone! Sorry. Show emoji, alright. Emoji! Hi everyone! Sorry. Emoji! Emotes! Hi everyone, it's me! And today... sorry. Hello everyone, it's me, Emoji. What do you know about the Emoji Movie? Alright, let's go one more time. Gosh. Emoji! Emotes! Hi everyone, it's me, Emoji! What do you know about the Emoji Movie? Let's start!
The Emoji Movie, a work so completely devoid of wit, style, intelligence, or basic entertainment value that it makes that movie based on the Angry Birds app seem like a pure artistic statement by comparison.
Wow.
RogerEbert.com. The Emoji Movie is so bad it makes us want to yell at strangers on the street. I don't think I can say anything funny about this because it makes me want to die.
Wow.
The Verge. Make no mistake, the Emoji Movie is very, very, very bad. IndieWire. So bad, it should be illegal. Oh wait, it actually is illegal. That quote's from me, and I'm gonna prove to you why today.
Interesting.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet! Welcome to Film Theory! Hi!
Show best represented by the sad clown emoji.
Aww.
You see, he's sad because he lost custody of his kids. That's the way the show makes you feel, like a lonely, lonely, crying clown. Speaking of things that'll make you depressed, the Emoji Movie.
The Emoji Movie!
Worst reviewed movie of 2017 and the 30th most successful movie of 2017 at the box office this year, raking in over $85 million so far. Cue the make it rain emoji. Just goes to show you that if you talk about something enough, it just grows stronger. Is there a Trump emoji that I could show here?
Oh, wow! This did not age well.
Seems pertinent. Anyway, there's no denying that this tale of an emoji who just can't quite fit in was a bad movie. Lame, lazy, formulaic, that much is clear. But the question I'm posing to you today is whether the Emoji Movie should have been deemed illegal. And I'm not clickbaiting you or anything, I am legitimately asking the question of whether the Emoji Movie breaks legal requirements put in place by the government to protect viewers from the evil scourge that's savagely deflowering the good old USA. Sponsored content.
Alright, so this is going to get into some pretty deep waters. Alright, please be understanding that this video came out in the year 2017, so it's 4 years ago. So please, just be understanding. Thank you so much. Thank you, and let's continue with the video.
Or, to use the official term, embedded advertising.
Embedded advertising, sponsored content.
Now, obviously, over my 6 years of being on YouTube, I have done my fair share of sponsored videos, be it an end slate promoting a product like Dollar Shave Club, or a full-on episode dedicated to a theory I've crafted for a specific movie, TV show, or game, like the recent DuckTales episode over here on Film Theory. And here's the thing, sponsorships are essential for helping to supplement the income of channels, and for me, it ensures that I'm able to help pay the team of researchers and editors who help me produce game theory and film theory every week, since at this point, that's what YouTube demands for channels to stay relevant.
And don't forget that he even have the food theory as well. So from my experience, it takes a long time to write, edit, do research, do proper research, and produce the best quality videos, and make it on time every single week with a scheduled uploads. It's quite difficult, and it's significantly easier if you have someone to do it for you, or more people do it for you, or even more people to do it for you. So yeah, thank you so much.
But regardless, in the process of doing those promotional segments, I've had to become intimately familiar with the proper way of disclosing different styles of branded partnerships, because there are very strict guidelines for how you make an audience aware that those are ads.
Make the audience aware that those are ads.
You see, in the US, we have the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, and the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC.
In the USA, the United States of America,
who come up with the rules that anyone who produces a piece of content has to follow in order to ensure that the audience is able to tell that the brand paid to be there. And it doesn't even have to be payment. Even if they provided free goods or some other consideration like cross-promotion, you still gotta make the audience aware of that sort of thing. The underlying rationale here is that if I sip a Diet Coke and say, man, that is a crisp, clean taste, but Diet Coke paid for that placement, I might just be saying it because they told me to. But if I say it and promote it across 6 years worth of videos and they didn't pay for any of that, well, you can just assume that I'm an addict. Because I am. Me disclosing that they partnered with me before the ad run allows you as the audience to be a bit more critical of the promotion, and there are government protections in place to ensure that you as the viewer aren't being tricked or misled. But then I went to see the Emoji Movie, and let me be clear, it was for research purposes only, and I promptly watched puppies playing with kittens to serve as eye bleach afterwards, and watching the movie, I couldn't help but be dumbfounded by the number of blatant product integrations that were happening without any sort of disclosure. Things that, were I to do them, would immediately get my video flagged and fined by the FTC, prompting a swarm of angry judge emoji followed by years of jail time emoji and tons of money flying away emoji. So
that's a lot of emojis involved.
Today, I'm analyzing the product integrations in the movie to prove that they're actually breaking FTC and FCC requirements to determine whether the movie that's so bad it's bad is also bad from a legal standpoint too. Anytime you see a brand appear anywhere, like how everyone in Twilight mysteriously drives Volvos, or how James Bond abandoned his
chicken and stirred
martinis in exchange for a bright green Heineken bottle, it falls under the classification of embedded advertising. The term embedded advertising basically covers two things: product placements and product integrations.
Product placements, product integrations.
In product placement, the product pays a fee or offers some other consideration and gets their brand, logo, or product into the movie. Their product then basically becomes a prop. Like,
from what I know, it can be as low as $5, $3, or as high as what, 1.3 million, 10 million, a few hundred millions, depending on
Reese's Pieces and E.T.
Different circumstances.
Or those seamlessly integrated Dunkin' Donuts cups on America's Got Talent. Or literally once every 10 frames in any Transformers movie. It's meant to seem like an accident, like, oh look, these things exist in the real world and they just so happen to show up in this scene.
You like music? The pill.
But of course, it's not an accident. In fact, Reese's paid for each of those pieces, spending $1 million to help promote the movie to be included in that iconic scene from E.T. So that's option one, product placement. Option two is product integration, where the brand is actively incorporated into the story or dialogue. Take for instance one of my favorite examples, Snapple appearing in 30 Rock, where they talk directly about the benefits of Snapple.
We're not doing that. We're not compromising the integrity of the show to sell.
Wow, this is Diet Snapple?
I only date guys who drink Snapple.
Snapple.
Oh my god, the writers are very innovative, you know. They literally
all love Snapple. Lord knows I do.
Or Little Nicky using Popeye's chicken to save the Earth from demons. Or this iconic moment that's close to a lot of our hearts.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
And again, if the brand doesn't pay to be there, it doesn't count. Like me saying how much I still love drinking Diet Coke. Lonely, unsponsored, rejected by the sweet, sweet cola company of my dreams, Diet Coke. So
okay. Sorry.
So now we turn back to the Emoji Movie and one of the biggest, most glaring examples of embedded advertising in the film. Everyone's grandma's favorite mobile game, Candy Crush.
Candy Crush Saga!
Let's look at this scene a little bit closer to see what the FTC and FCC have to say about whether this merits a sponsorship disclosure. At the beginning, you can clearly see the Candy Crush logo, which means we've already definitely crossed into product placement territory. But then the movie directly says the name of the app,
Candy Crush.
and the characters directly talk about the functionality of the game.
And we can't match him with any yellows, or else...
Then, after that, the emoji character
Like a Thanos snap.
literally has to win the game to forward the plot of the movie. This clearly falls under category 2, product integration. We also know that none of this was an accident. King, the company who owns Candy Crush, very publicly teamed up with the Emoji Movie to do one of the biggest cross-promotions in the game's history, even creating special Emoji Movie levels in the game to promote the film.
Huh. Interesting.
So what does the FTC guidelines have to say about integrations like this? First, you need to disclose everything up front. To quote directly from the FTC guidelines, an endorsement would be covered by the FTC Act if an advertiser or someone working for an advertiser pays you or gives you something of value to mention a product. If you receive free products or other perks with the expectation that you'll promote or discuss the advertiser's products, you must disclose. This is literally on the front page of the FTC disclosure site. So how did the Emoji Movie miss this? And remember, it doesn't even say they have to like the product. If it appears, if you mention it, it counts and needs disclosure. But who knows? Maybe they did disclose. Maybe they did it in the movie credits. Those things go on forever, so it must be in there somewhere, right? Right? Oh look, there it is, in that giant block of text 5 minutes into the credits. But that's not gonna cut it in the eyes of the FTC. They emphasize over and over again in their rules and FAQ that disclosures need to be clear, hard to miss, and accurately represent the relationship between the video and the brand.
Clear, hard to miss, accurately represent the relationship between the video and the brand. However, do remember that this video came out in the year 2017, so it may change, especially 4 years have passed. A literal global pandemic occurs during that 4 years period, so yeah.
It has to be, quote, in unambiguous language, and whoever makes the video has to make it stand out. The font has to be readable, it has to stand out from the background, and it shouldn't be hidden in footnotes or blocks of text or put in places people aren't likely to read. Say, for instance, the closing credits of a movie. They even explicitly say to avoid the end of a piece of content. Again, another quote from the FTC guidelines, quote, it's more likely that a disclosure at the end of a video will be missed, especially if someone doesn't watch the whole thing. Having it at the beginning would be better. Having multiple disclosures during the video would be even better. Nope, sorry FTC, you just get a handful of courtesy buy mixed into a wall of text an hour after that embedded advertising happened. And
okay, so you're trying to say is, what I'm trying to understand is that, what I think that I understand is, at the end, not that good. At the beginning, better. In the middle, even better. Something like that, right? I'm not too sure. Right.
Remember that whole accurately represent the relationship between video and brand bit? Yeah, well, something tells
Wait, is the words even better a word? A phrase?
Tells me that the relationship between King and Sony Pictures looked a whole lot different than the relationship between Rosanna Pansino and Sony Pictures, but all of it apparently is the same. Courtesy of. That doesn't even imply that any sort of payment or promotional consideration changed hands here, but we all know it did. So that is not an accurate descriptor based on the FTC guidelines. And I have to tell you, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to integrations in this movie. The entire movie is hopping from one embedded ad to the next. Twitter to YouTube to Spotify to Instagram to Facebook. Millions of moviegoers were literally tricked into paying money to watch watch an hour and 31 minutes of commercials, you guys. I wish I were joking. And the exact same disclosure rules should apply to each of those, but especially the other two biggest product integrations in this movie, Dropbox and Just Dance. And if you thought Candy Crush was bad, these two are even worse. In the scene for Just Dance now, it's not just that the characters are just dancing, they're actually endorsing the product. They start by literally explaining the rules of the game.
Follow my moves and you get to move forward. Do the wrong moves and you get an X.
Then sell the product as an app made for everyone.
Come on, everybody can dance.
Then they make positive comments about using the app for the rest of this excruciatingly long scene.
Yeah, you got it. Go, girl. Now throw some sauce on that dance burrito.
Oh really? You love it? Does language like that matter to the FTC? Oh, you bet it does. There's a line in the FTC guidelines specifically about implicit endorsements of products. Here it is. Simply posting a picture of a product or a video of you using it could convey that you like and approve of the product. If it does, it's an endorsement. You don't necessarily have to use words to convey a positive message. Yeah, you could do things like smile, use nonverbal sounds like whoa, or show that you can use the product well. If you do any one of those things, the FTC is expecting you to be doing some disclosing. It's even more blatant for Dropbox, and let's be honest here, Dropbox? I can just see 6-year-old Timmy sitting there in the theater being like, oh, thank goodness there's finally a secure solution for my file transfer needs. Then he digs a booger out of his nose and uses it to garnish his snow cap. But for Dropbox in this movie, it's really bad. Literally, they stand in awe of Dropbox's magnificent firewall. Then they demonstrate the password system for the app and how strong its security is. Then, of course, they make it explicitly clear that the evil malware emoji can't get through because, you know, it's malware, and malware can't get into the great secure app of Dropbox. This is not just product integration, this is a direct demonstration and endorsement. Basically, the pinnacle of all that is hashtag spawn. So long story short, screw the legal mumbo jumbo, the results are definitively clear. The Emoji Movie is totally out of line. Look no further than the FTC guidelines. It violates rules that myself and literally millions of other YouTubers are held to every day. Shut it down, everyone. Call in the feds, let them know that these violators should receive as many frowny face emoji as they've got down there at the FTC. Not only is this movie a huge steaming poop emoji, but it's also a poop emoji behind bars emoji, because what they are doing is literally illegal.
Stop. You will profane the Emoji Movie no longer.
Wait, he is familiar.
Oh no! His dab's too strong! It's blinding me!
Get good, hater. The Emoji Movie's ability
to make young, impressionable minds aware of quality, malware-free file-sharing services like Dropbox and the endless hours of fun they can derive from the incredible Just Dance app with its selection of 283 of today's hottest dance tunes is protected by Section 317 of the FCC's Communications Act, which states that any motion picture film produced to appear in theaters doesn't have to disclose its brand partnerships.
Curse you, Jax Films, and your robust knowledge of arcane legalese. But seriously, is that really true?
Would the Emoji Movie lie?
I mean, have you ever had this much fun playing Just Dance now?
Yes.
Jax Films away!
Wait. I didn't make up all those other disclosure rules, though. Those are all on the FTC and FCC guidelines. So if movies are exempt from having to disclose that they're getting paid millions of dollars from these products for some reason, then what? These rules only apply to TV, newspapers, and digital video?
Just digital. TV is judged by other standards. As long as that Milton Bradley promotion is listed off in the closing credits of that episode of Big Bang Theory, y'all good, fam.
Why is the audience laughing at this? They're just playing Twister. They're not even in funny positions.
Because it's hilarious, Matt. Oh boy. Between this and the Emoji Movie, this year has been a comedic powerhouse.
But no one even shows the credits of TV programs anymore. At best, they're off in a tiny corner while the next show starts playing.
Yep.
And meanwhile, YouTubers and other digital video creators have to disclose an ad at the opening seconds of a video and then again when the actual integration starts.
So viewers don't miss it. Yep.
And movies don't have to do any of this.
You betcha.
Why?
Let's be honest, people were probably paid off. Add to it the fact that money rarely directly changes hands. You even said it yourself. To get Reese's Pieces into E.T., Hershey spent $1 million promoting the movie. Movies found a loophole. They also cite their First Amendment rights. To disclose at the beginning or in the middle of the movie would take away their rights to tell the artistic story they want to tell.
I don't know, when James Bond is willing to switch from his iconic martinis to a bargain beer for $45 million, something tells me that art and free speech may not be the driving factors in that creative decision.
What the? $45 million. That's a lot. Literal multi-million.
Speaking of bidding, I hope in the Emoji Movie 2, they go to the eBay app. Oh, what I wouldn't do to see Gene get in a bidding war with Jailbreak. Oh boy, what hijinks.
So what you're telling me is that if the Emoji Movie were a YouTube video or a movie made for Facebook or whatever, it would be illegal because it doesn't disclose the brand endorsements. But because it's a feature film in theaters, it's perfectly fine.
Yep.
Even if it's directly targeting children.
Yep.
Doesn't it seem hypocritical and unfair that laws require YouTubers to disclose brand deals multiple times to make sure the audience knows the relationship between the brand and the creative? Well,
you must remember that this video came out in year 2017, so we are aware of this issue. Changes might have been made, especially when this is 4 years ago. But who am I to know? Who am I to know? I may be wrong.
films get tens of millions of dollars to have Emoji learn how to play Candy Crush in the efforts of getting kids to play the game, and none of it has to be disclosed anywhere?
It does. And that's what makes the brilliant creative minds of Sony Pictures Animation so brilliant. And creative.
But my work here is done. Jack's Films away!
The FTC guidelines covering online bloggers and things like YouTube videos is over 10,000 words long. That is longer than the entire script of the Emoji Movie, which clocks in at 7,426 words. Oh yeah, I counted. The expectations for disclosures in movies are covered in 30 words, but can be summarized in 4. You don't need 2. And let me make it clear, I'm not opposed to disclosure. I think it's important, but I think it needs to be fair for movies, for television, and for bloggers. I'm gonna quote now from question 1 of the FTC guidelines. Do the endorsement guides apply to social media? Their response: yes. Truth in advertising is important in all media, whether they have been around for decades, like television and magazines, or are relatively new, like blogs and social media. Notice the form of media who's conspicuously absent there: movies. The FTC states that the goals of these regulations are to help consumers distinguish ads from content. But perhaps the worst part of all of this is that the Emoji Movie is clearly targeting kids. Kids who, according to studies by the Association for Consumer Research, don't even understand that commercials exist to sell a product. If these government agencies are truly invested in protecting viewers, they should spend a little less time spending out notices to Instagrammers and spend a bit more time asking these 90-minute commercials to shape up. Shape up. Wait, no, that's an app too! Hashtag not spawn! Hashtag not spawn! And probably never spawned again! Prepare for a lot more YouTube theories, my friends. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And a special thanks to Jack's Films.
Special thanks to Jack's Films. Let me just read the ending.
Commercials to shape up. Shape up.
Yeah.
Wait, no,
Yeah,
that's an app too! Hashtag not spawn! Hashtag not spawn! And probably never spawned again! Prepare for a lot more YouTube theories, my friends. But hey, that's just...
But what if they that back, Jin? Babe, don't let them get to you. I hate seeing you like this. Let me see. How do you dab it out? What am I doing? Gosh, what am I doing?
The theory. A film theory. And a special thanks to Jack's Films. The Emoji Movie's quote-unquote biggest fan for helping me out with today's episode. If you missed his hilarious review of the movie, then bam! There's the link on screen right now. Just, Jack, make sure to slap a hashtag spawn on that poop emoji chest hair you have at the end. And on a more serious note, please, help support independent creators like Jack's Films and us here at Film Theory, who are trying to do good work in a system that's obviously rigged against us. How can you do that, you ask? Well, there are a lot of ways, but the easiest answer is by subscribing and then watching our videos. Links are on screen now, so please find it in your heart to click them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go hide. I was already on some government watch lists before, but calling out unfair relationships between the government and the entertainment industry, I'm sure is making me no friends. So, fingers crossed all of our videos don't get flagged.
Okay, So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video together with me. I hope that you learned something new from this video together with me. And if you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel and sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you all so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a film theory, and cut. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much. Hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye. Thank you all so much. Okay, good. So there is one video down. Still got a few more videos up. Around as 3 o'clock. Gosh. Next is Wonder Woman. 9 minutes and 30 seconds. 31 seconds.
This is Jacob from the
Film Legend. Let's go. Full screen. Everyone, it's me. And oh my gosh, Wonder Woman was so... oh my gosh. They even have Wonder Woman 2 already, so you must understand that this video is quite old lah. How well is the movie? Oh gosh. Film legend. Film legends. Legends, film legends. Alright, let's see one time. Hello everyone, it's me, Wonder Woman. How well is the movie in the film legends? Alright, Ken. Okay. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Superhero! Hi everyone, it's me! And today, Wonder Woman. How well is the movie in the film legends? On film legends. One time. Gosh. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Superheroes. Alright, superheroes. Superhero! Hi everyone, it's me, Wonder. I missed the Wonder Woman part. Oh. Ah gosh, I'll do one time. Superhero! Hi everyone, it's me, Wonder Woman! How well is the movie in the film legends? Let's start!
This is Jacob from the Wisecrack channel, and welcome to Film Legends, where we break down all the smart stuff in the most renowned films of our age. We'll be analyzing and awarding points for every single thing a movie does right. Films will get scored in the categories of style, depth, context, and technique, all to determine which movies really are film legends.
Film legends.
Today's challenger, Wonder Woman, which will be scored according to the Film Legends rules here. Got it? Let's go.
I used to want to save the world.
Wonder Woman's opening voiceover suggests a darker arc for our hero, yet the ending voiceover spins this jaded attitude on its head.
And now I know.
Interesting. They actually start the movie with a zoom out of the planet Earth. Then we are so small in the scales.
Only love can truly save the world.
A nice bit of misdirection, especially in the super dark DC cinematic universe.
Tricky writers!
I think it's about time we retire this wistfully staring into a photo then flashing back in time trope. I mean, the film doesn't even transition to the time period Diana's looking at, making this picture stare not only cliche, but just plain wrong.
Photos are for losers!
Wait a second, there's an island full of kick-ass female warriors?
Jacob! Jacob?
This nighttime story provides a perfect way to dole out backstory without seeming like just run-of-the-mill exposition. Diana saves Steve Trevor, an inversion of the classic damsel in distress archetype.
Film trope KO!
Film trope KO! Instead of the male saving the female, it's the female saving the male. You know? Wonder Woman, awesome!
Wonder Woman constantly upends traditional masculine-feminine film tropes. It's Steve that's sexualized and in constant need of saving, whereas Diana is depicted as the stoic, strong hero. Pretty much the Superman and Lois relationship, but in reverse.
Switching roles can be good!
The pristine island of Themyscira is juxtaposed against the foggy, ugly outside world, visually signifying how corrupted humanity has become. Diana's attitude towards war shifts throughout Wonder Woman. As a child, she yearns to go into battle. Yet when faced with the casualties war entails, her childish enthusiasm quickly dissipates. Oh yeah! Ain't nobody messing with Claire Underwood.
With slow motion.
My turn. Zeus created men to be just and wise, strong and passionate.
Diana echoes the early theological belief, Imago Dei, wherein humanity was crafted in the image of their creator, pure and just.
Amen.
According to this belief, mankind's purity was then corrupted by a malevolent devil, as in Adam and Eve's fall from the Garden of Eden. Diana also blames humanity's corruption on a malevolent force, Ares, the god of war.
Double tap on in!
Typical example of your sex.
Above average.
Okay, I gotta be honest, I'm usually not a big fan of cheap double entendres, but Gal Gadot and Chris Pine are just too damn cute. They kill this scene.
Does the average man not sleep?
No, the second.
Aw, when will these crazy kids realize they're perfect for one another? Their chemistry is off the charts.
On-screen chemistry!
Oh, baby!
A great character touch. Diana's not only a badass hero, but a maternal everywoman, shading rarely granted to female characters who are often painted as either one or the other.
Three-dimensional female character.
True, I really love the character development that this movie have showcased that superheroes are awesome individuals as well.
Wonder Woman broke the mold of franchise tentpoles, the first female superhero film in over a decade, and the first to be directed by a woman.
Break that glass ceiling!
Diana's trip to London is a spin on the comedic fish-out-of-water narrative. From Splash to Thor, these films focus on characters thrust into settings completely foreign to them.
You're fishy!
Most fish-out-of-water films derive comedy at the character's expense, focusing on how out of place they are in a foreign setting. Instead, Wonder Woman uses this fish-out-of-water narrative to comment on the societal injustices of the 1900s, from the impractical clothing women wore, to the secondary role of women in the workforce, to even the absurdities of warfare.
From generals don't hide in their offices like cowards.
You go, girl!
Yeah, really, Specs? Suddenly she's not the most beautiful woman you've ever seen.
Sick burn on every film that thinks putting glasses on a pretty woman suddenly makes her homely. An homage to the OG of superhero films, Richard Donner's Superman.
Respect your elders!
Quick tip, whenever you see an award-winning character actor in a seemingly inconsequential role, they're always revealed to be the bad guy. So yeah, casting respected British actor David Thewlis as the secret villain Ares is pretty much a bust the second he shows up on screen.
Oh my dear, you have so much to learn.
Saw it coming!
Here's a really fun interaction.
No, I have to disagree with that. I did not saw it coming when I watched the film. It's like, oh, what? He was a bad guy? I was like, wait, what? Seriously?
Adapted directly from the Justice League origin comic. Wonder Woman is stuffed with references to its comic roots. Wonder Woman lifting a tank, a callback to Alex Ross and Paul Dini's Wonder Woman, Spirit of Truth. And Steve humorously referring to Themyscira as
Paradise Island.
a reference to what Diana's birthplace was originally called in the comics. All these carefully placed nods really showcase just how much Wonder Woman respects its source material.
Learn to respect the references.
I could help them.
A common superhero dilemma. When faced with death from all angles, can you save everybody? And if not, who should you prioritize? We've actually seen Superman struggle with this exact same dilemma in Batman v Superman.
Which lives count, and which ones do not?
Yet unlike the mopey Superman, Diana rejects this thinking, believing wholeheartedly she can save everyone.
We can't save everyone in this war.
No, but it's what I'm going to do.
Superman could learn a thing or two!
Wonder Woman strikes the perfect, earnest, old-fashioned tone without ever once feeling too cheesy. Ultimately, it all boils down to Gal Gadot's performance. She fully gives in to Diana's wide-eyed sense of righteousness, the movie following her lead to the T.
You stay classy, Diana.
Love the slow motion of a bullet, then ping!
What a hero shot! Patty Jenkins sure knows how to craft an iconic Wonder Woman image.
I want a slow-mo shot!
Please.
I want a slow-mo shot! A slow-mo shot is awesome.
There's only an armistice and an endless war.
Thucydides.
Thucydides actually never said this quote. In fact, the famous Greek general said the exact opposite. Should have done a little bit more research beforehand.
Repartee.
Why are they still fighting?
That's because maybe it's them. Maybe people aren't always good. Ares or no Ares. Maybe it's who they are.
Throughout Wonder Woman, characters offer conflicting views on humanity. For Diana, mankind is born innately good. Yet for Steve, this issue is more complex. People have their own free will that governs their moral choices.
It's not about deserve. It's not. Maybe we don't. But it's not about that. It's about what you believe.
Steve here cites moral agency, wherein each person makes their own choices and thus are accountable for their actions, both good and bad.
Deep thoughts.
Later, Ares will offer a third take on humanity, stating people are just born evil.
They are ugly, filled with hatred.
A sentiment Ares shares with philosopher Thomas Hobbes, who believed human nature was innately violent and driven by self-interest.
Deeper thoughts.
So who's right? Is humanity innately pure, evil, or do we make that choice ourselves?
We make the choice ourselves. Just like, this reminds me of the scenes when Mewtwo from Pokemon mentioned it in the Mewtwo the movie lah. Alright, we are who we are from our actions.
It seems at first, Wonder Woman,
not from birth, but from our actions,
sides with Steve, Diana later echoing his choice words.
It's not about deserve. It's about what you believe.
Yet when Diana defeats Ares, the fighting stops, which suggests the exact opposite, that Diana was right and Ares was to blame for corrupting humanity. This lack of commitment really muddies any sort of philosophical point the movie was trying to make.
Pick a side!
I agree. It was very grey at the ending. There was not a solid line in which we can rely on. It was very grey. Yeah.
Ares' attempts to woo Diana into ending mankind harken back to Satan's temptations of Jesus in the wilderness. Heck, Ares even shows Diana a literal Garden of Eden, just to drive this biblical connotation home. It's a little disappointing, though, that Wonder Woman's third act becomes just your typical CGI bad guy throwing CGI objects at a hero. I feel like I've seen this exact same climax in the last 10 superhero films.
Learn some new tricks!
A really nice use of the tinnitus effect here, thwarting our young lover's final conversation.
FYI, I can read lips.
Which pays off when Diana finally remembers Steve's last words just in time to put down Ares for good.
I could save today. You could save the world.
Sit up, Theo.
And now I know that only love can truly save the world. So I stay, I fight, and I give. This is my mission now. Forever.
What a feel-good moment to end on. Makes me want to take up my shield and join the fight. Wonder Woman, here I come.
Jacob? Come on, not again.
All right, Wonder Woman, let's see how you did. Those context and technique scores are looking pretty good. And when we factor in the multipliers, well, maybe not the most wonderful scores, but still solid. That third act stumble cost Wonder Woman any bonuses, so let's head right over to the leaderboard and see how it stacks up. Wonder Woman rising, settling in at Number 10. Just a few too many superhero cliches, but hey, still a major improvement for the DCEU. But be sure to come back next time as another competitor takes a shot at the film legend's crown. Tony thinks it'll be a good one.
Is the next challenger ready?
Iron Man?
Hey Theorists, to watch the other episodes of Film Legends, click here or here to check them out. And I'll catch you next time. Toodles.
Thank you so much for being so supportive, and do remember to subscribe as well. Show support and encouragement. Thank you so much for your positivity and wholesomeness. Really inspire and help uplift us to create more contents. Thank you so much for watching this video together with me, and I hope that you find this video very interesting to watch it together with me. And if you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us down below. And don't forget to follow my channel, and I hope to see you in my next video. But hey, that's just a legend. A film legend. Thanks for watching. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you all so much. Bye bye. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Awesome. So next video, live stream have been going on. Okay, awesome. 3 more videos by the time it's going to 4-5 PM, I guess. Hopefully. Pennywise, eat. Fears. What am I doing? Dears, I said fears. Hello everyone, it's me, and today let's discover your deepest and darkest fears. Awesome. Okay, awesome. So let's start. Okay. Oh, one more time. Hi everyone, it's me! I'm sorry. Gosh, I didn't click it properly. Once more. Hi everyone! Always have to do this. I have to click properly. Something like that. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's discover your deepest and darkest fears. Together, let's start. Pennywise.
Hey you, would you like a balloon? Don't be shy. I'm Matt Pat, the YouTube clown, and we've got a whole circus down here with memes and puns and theories galore. Oh, we all theorize down here. Yes, we do. And when you're down here, you'll theorize too. You'll theorize too. You'll theorize too. You'll theorize too.
You'll theorize too.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Film Theory.
Oh wow! Fun fact, do you recognize that just now there was FT for film theory? Food theory have not came out yet lah. Food theory have not came out.
So, after last week's Emoji Movie episode, I figured we'd dial it back this week and talk about a film that's a little less scary. It. Chapter 1. Oh, sure, It hides the fact that it's a two-parter until its final moments and everyone gets super excited about it. I do it and people complain about clickbait. Double standards here, guys. Double standards. Huh, just like the FTC guidelines we talked about last week. So thematic. Regardless, I loved this movie. You see, I was never a big fan of the original 1990 version. Don't get me wrong, Tim Curry is one of my favorite actors of all time and can do literally no wrong in my eyes, but popping blood-filled balloons in the library? Is that scary? Especially because you can see the actors responding to the popping, but they're not supposed to sense what's going on. It's just cringy. And I should know a thing or two about cringe.
Will you go to prom with me, Medina?
Oh my god! Is that really Matt Pat? Oh my god, he looks so cute and adorable. Oh, so young.
Anyway, between the imaginative scares, creepy imagery, and solid acting, this reboot had it all. Well, maybe not it all, since the original novel also has a big celebratory preteen sexual romp for the Losers Club after defeating Pennywise. Yeah, no joke. Apparently, in addition to being the master of horror, Stephen King wanted to be the master of the awkward chapter. Well, after reading how Bill, Ben, Bev, Richie, Eddie, Mike, and Stan show their affection for each other in the sewers of Derry after defeating an evil clown. Mission accomplished, Steve.
Okay. I watched the movie and it was... yeah.
At any rate, for as much as I loved it, y'all know that I couldn't go see it without getting the old theorist gears greased. And I had a thought towards the end of the movie. How are these kids able to survive all of Pennywise's attacks? Pennywise successfully targets other children, like Georgie and Betty Ripson, but even when alone with individual members of the Losers Club, Pennywise can't make the kill. I mean, obviously as main characters, the easy explanation here is that they all have plot armor. But after doing my homework into it and the rest of Stephen King's work, I found my answer. The Losers Club isn't just a group of ordinary kids. All of these kids shine. No, not like a giant supernatural crab, though come to think of it, that's more of Pennywise's domain. No boy, for those of you who don't know how the rest of it goes, you are in for a weird ride. No, what I mean to say is that these kids shine like Danny Torrance from another Stephen King work you've probably heard of, The Shining. If it's been a minute since you saw that movie, let me help you out. Shining means having some level of psychic ability. In The Shining, Danny's shine gives him the ability to communicate with others telepathically and interact with supernatural beings. He's basically Bran from Game of Thrones, but with more emotions and more working legs.
Oh! Wow! Ow, that burn, that roasts. Wow.
When you look at the evidence, it's pretty clear that the Losers Club also has this psychic shine ability.
And a lot of plot armor.
So in today's episode, I'm gonna break it down for you like a crazy man with an axe. Here's Matt Pat! Now, some people might think this theory is over before it even begins, since nobody in it references psychic powers, the Overlook Hotel, or the fact that the moon landing didn't happen. You know, all those things that are normally associated with The Shining. But here's the thing. Stephen King puts Marvel and Pixar to shame with how interconnected his universe is. He was doing a dark connected universe before the dark connected universe began. And also, apparently after it ended, too. Here are just a few ways it connects to the wider Stephen Kingiverse. The Losers Club is mentioned by name in his novel Dreamcatcher. Mike Hanlon, one of the club's members, grows up to be the town librarian in Derry, which we see in another King novel, Insomnia, and somebody even sees glowing clown eyes in a storm drain in the Tommyknockers. But we're not just talking about a general shared universe here. It has direct connections to The Shining through one man, Dick Halloran, chef of the Overlook Hotel. In a scene in It Chapter 1, Ben recaps some of the past tragedies that have happened in Derry. One of them is a fire that happened at the Black Spot, an African-American nightclub that burned down during a past visit from Pennywise in 1962. One of the people who survived that fire, Dick Halloran. In fact, Dick actually saves Mike Hanlon's father from dying in that fire. And here's the best part, Dick possesses the shine himself. In fact, throughout The Shining, he teaches Danny about the gift and communicates telepathically with him.
How'd you like some ice cream, Doc?
So having a character with psychic abilities serve as the bridge between the two stories not only shows us that we're working in the same universe, but also that the ability to shine is definitely something that exists in the world of it. So what kind of indication do we have that the kids in the Losers Club actually shine? We don't actually see too much of it in this first movie, but you will definitely start to see it crop up in It Chapter 2 because the clues are definitely there in the novel. You see, in the story of It, all the kids grow up to be unusually successful, but they all have to return to Derry to once again face Pennywise and finish him off for good. Bill, as an adult, fights It through a psychic battle of wills known as the Ritual of Chewed. Now, this is gonna sound really weird if you haven't read the book. Actually, scratch that. It's pretty weird even if you have read the book. But
okay, so it's weird if you read a book. It'll be weird even if you don't read the book. Okay.
Bill is instructed by an interdimensional turtle, a turtle, that the only way to defeat it for good is to engage in this ritual and use his imagination as a psychic counterbalance to its powers. The battle is done entirely telepathically. Now look at the description that Dick Halloran uses when he's describing what the shine is.
My grandmother and I could hold conversations entirely without ever opening our mouths.
Wow.
She called it shining.
At this point, some of you still might not believe, which is dangerous because belief is what keeps Pennywise from eating you. Nonetheless, you might be thinking that this theory has a few holes in it, kind of like Dick Halloran at the end of The Shining. Ba-doom-ching! Let's try to plug those holes in with more evidence, shall we? Towards the end of the novel, Mike Hanlon is in the hospital, far away from the rest of the Losers Club who are descending into its lair. You would think Mike would be safe, but in actuality, there's someone in his room waiting to kill him. Bill, again from deep in the sewers, suddenly senses that Mike is in trouble and instructs the group to, quote, send him our power, at which point the club locks hands and sends Mike psychic energy to fight off his attacker like a Goku-sized spirit bomb.
A Goku-sized spirit bomb that takes multiple different episodes to make. Oh, that's funny. And also, Deus Ex Machina, the plot armor.
Not just Bill. The novel clearly states that Bev feels something leave them and go to Mike. Quote from page 1083. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it is a long book.
A big book.
Something wrong, Bill said. Mike, I feel it too, Ben said. Send him our power, Bill cried. Bev felt something go out from them and toward Mike, end quote. And then a few sentences later, Mike pushed the call button in his hands. He could hear it ringing at the nurse's station down the hall, but no one came. With a kind of hellish second sight, he understood that the nurses were sitting around down there, hearing his call bell but not responding. Mike suddenly felt power wash into him, some primitive power that crammed his body like volts. So again, we're seeing references to these kids having a quote-unquote second sight and feeling psychic power transitioning between them. And during the Ritual of Chewed, Bill isn't the only one telepathically communicating with it. Ben actually begins the battle by reading its mind. Quote, it was squealing and mewling, and Ben became quite sure he was hearing sounds it made twice. Telepathic, he thought. I'm reading its mind. End quote. So that's Bill, Bev, Mike, and now Ben, all with some sort of reference to telepathy or psychic ability. We can even include Richie in this because he also engages in the telepathic Ritual of Chewed and communicates with Bill psychically during that moment of the novel. We even see that Richie actually shares a psychic connection with other members of the town, specifically an Irish police officer named Nell. It's not important for us to go into, just know that it happens. Anyway, very long and very complicated story short, the psychic connection is shared between all of the members of the Losers Club. It's strongest with Bill, but all the others have instances where they feel or sense something telepathically. Which begs the question, why? Why these kids? What's the probability of having so many shiners in the same town, let alone the same group? Well, there's actually a pretty clear explanation. The shine tends to show up in kids who are victims of abuse. In The Shining, Jack Torrance, Danny's father, was a violent alcoholic. We hear in the movie, and repeatedly in the novel, that he dislocated Danny's arm during one of his drunken rages.
Come on, please don't be responsible drinkers. Or if you cannot control, don't drink. Come on, be a good adult for your children. Be a good parent for the offsprings. Thank you so much.
And his wife Wendy's description of it as just an accident certainly makes it sound like there's either a lot more there or that it's happened before.
And then he had an injury. What sort of injury did he have?
My husband had been drinking, and he came home about 3 hours late. So he wasn't exactly in the greatest mood that night, but on this particular occasion, my husband just used too much strength and he injured Danny's arm. I guess that's about the time when I first noticed that he was talking to Tony.
Also no.
Oh my gosh, you are trying to say that this is a common occurrence. Why? If it's such a common occurrence, announce it, you know. Get a third party help if you are unable to solve it within the household.
Notice that Danny's psychic ability, which he's nicknamed Tony, it's weird.
Please remember to, audience, if you're watching this, please remember that it's always important to be safe and take proper and appropriate actions under such circumstances. Thank you so much.
Weird, but don't get confused there. Tony doesn't appear until after this traumatic accident at the hands of his dad. In The Shining sequel, Dr. Sleep, yeah, there's a sequel. Today's episode is just full of surprises. We find out that when Dick Halloran was a child, he was sexually and physically abused by his grandfather. It doesn't seem like a coincidence that two characters who are confirmed to have the shine were both victims of childhood violence. Now let's go through the Losers Club. Bill is bullied for his stutter. Bev is sexually abused by her creepy father. Richie's abuse isn't explicit in the movie, but he actually suffers from parental neglect, which is the reason why he feels the need to constantly keep talking and be funny. He doesn't want people to abandon him. Eddie is the victim of his mother's Munchausen syndrome by proxy, being diagnosed with fake ailments to make him think he's sick so that she can control his life. Mike is called an outsider in the most recent movie, but the old miniseries and novel make it pretty clear that Mike is the victim of racial slurs and racially motivated violence.
It's quite unfortunate when back in the days, heck, even now, in some parts of the world, if the majority of the people are different skin tones, majority of people is different culture, different religions, different whatever, and they are not able to understand, they are unable to be welcoming, they are unable to be polite, respectful, and to be decent, the minority have to suffer, which is unfair, especially in this day and age.
Anne is bullied for being Jewish, and Ben is bullied for being overweight in the original movie and for being the new kid in the reboot. Given the fact that all these people share a history of trauma and exhibit some level of telekinetic ability, isn't it possible that shining is developed as a coping mechanism? So there you have it, a shining theory not rooted in moon landing conspiracies. But so what? Even if the kids in it are like Dick and Danny in The Shining, does any of that really matter? Well, yeah. Actually, it does. Absolutely it does. It might not just be that the kids have the same power, it might also mean that they're fighting the same evil. Considering that it is a shapeshifter and is really just a manifestation of evil energy from the
Shapeshifter, is it the X-Men?
Multiverse, why couldn't it be the evil at the Overlook Hotel? A deeper look into this is probably a theory for another day, but let's just do some quick detective work to talk about how the evil operates in both The Shining and It. Towards the end of The Shining, Jack, crazy and completely consumed by the spirits of the Overlook Hotel, is locked in the pantry by his wife Wendy. Near the end of It, we catch up with adult Henry Bowers, who's gone completely crazy and is locked in a mental asylum. In both instances, a ghost appears to the men. For Jack, it's Delbert Grady, the former caretaker of the hotel who killed his family and wants Jack to do the same. For Henry Bowers, it's his old henchman Belch, who wants Henry to go kill the Losers Club. Both Jack in The Shining and Henry in It are imprisoned, but their respective ghostly visions say that they can get him out in exchange for the respective men committing murder. And we know in both—
No! Come on. Please be respectful, be disciplined, and be polite, decent human beings. Why can't you have the responsibility, the discipline of being a proper human being for society, for everyone.
To these instances that they aren't hallucinations, because in both situations, the ghosts provide them with a physical murder weapon, the croquet mallet for Jack and the switchblade for Henry. It's the exact same tactic with the exact same goal. Maybe it's not so much that Pennywise can't kill people who shine, but rather just knows how dangerous people who shine can be because they can use the ritual of Chewed. By employing Jack Torrance to kill his son Danny and Henry Bowers to kill the Losers Club, the threat to it is effectively wiped out, and it can continue to terrorize and feast on others who are less psychically inclined. And when you consider that all these Stephen King stories share a universe, does it have to stop there? Why couldn't the evil energy that creates Pennywise possess a dog, like in Cujo, or create a bunch of pet zombies, like in Pet Sematary, or convince a girl to murder her classmates in Carrie? If Pennywise is a shapeshifter, that opens the door for it to be the evil in pretty much every Stephen King story ever. A clown, a hotel, an evil car, or anything else. It might even mean that Pennywise doesn't go into hibernation. Maybe he just moves somewhere else in those 30 years between appearances in Derry. But that's all speculation that might lead to a video another day. For now, remember, it's all just a theory. A film theory. And this theory is battery-ass
I have a Doctor Who Part 3.
and it'll melt your face off. You'll subscribe too. 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 You'll subscribe too.
Two.
You'll
Subscribe too.
You'll subscribe.
Oh gosh, but please remember to click subscribe once. If you click subscribe and click again the same button, you'll be unsubscribed. So yeah, I really like it at the start and the end of a video is both at the under there, the drain there. So yeah, the more you know. Well, anyways, I hope that you find this video very interesting and very unique to watch. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have any question of us. Don't forget to follow my channel and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you so much and hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory and cut. Thank you. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Do remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Alright, it's 1 hour and a half. I've reacted to 4 videos. Let's go for a few more. Is Thor stronger than Hawk? Oh, Doctor Who! He have a Doctor Who movie coming out. If I was to do all this, right, what's the biggest that they have? 11 minutes, 12 minutes, it's not doable. 15 minutes, okay, it's doable, it's doable. 9 minutes, okay, it's good. 12 minutes. 16 minutes, okay, 16 minutes is the biggest lah. So the rest of videos is actually quite doable. It's actually quite doable. I hopefully can finish 8 videos today. Finish 8 videos today, probably. Hopefully 8 videos.
He's coming.
This is Stranger Things. Hello. This is not a good idea. Stranger Things. predictions. Alright, let's start. Hi everyone, it's me, and today, Stranger Things! Are you ready for some predictions on Stranger Things? No, this video came out in the year 2017, so...
Something's coming.
Answer me.
Something hungry for blood. A shadow grows on the wall behind you, swallowing you in darkness. What is it? Boom. Boom. Boom! He will! Stop! Boom! We're deep.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet! Welcome to Film Theory! Hi! Do remember that this video came out in the year 2017, so the predictions may not be correct. Anyways, let's continue.
Where every week we talk about strange things, but today we're going above and beyond and talking about Stranger Things. And just you wait, because next year I'm gonna go create my own show named Strangest Things and one-up them all. What you gonna do to beat that, Netflix? Create strangest-ist things? I don't think so.
No, he's gonna create something even better. Netflix is gonna create something called Squid Game. Yeah. And let's continue.
In all seriousness, Netflix's smash hit from last year is back for Season 2 starting tomorrow. And based on how quickly people binge watch these shows, I've got like 30 hours before this theory either gets proven 100% or gets itself completely debunked. So enjoy the video now, then come back this weekend and laugh along with the comments at my abject humiliation at being oh so very wrong.
This is so wrong, LOL. Literally disproven in 10 minutes. Lost. Waste my time editing. Top of ice cream. Wow.
Now, for those of you who missed Season 1 because you only watch YouTube, firstly, thank you for giving me a job. But secondly, let me catch you up on everything you need to know to understand today's theory. Stranger Things takes place in the small town of Hawkins, Indiana, way back in the 80s. It's the story of a bunch of young outcasts who find themselves another, even more misunderstood outcast, and they all embark on a crazy adventure together. No, not that one, but I do understand the confusion. You see, in Stranger Things, the Hawkins National Laboratory is actually a front organization for the CIA's Project MK Ultra, a very real and very bizarre government initiative that drugged people in an attempt to develop mind control techniques for use in the Cold War.
So they're using real-world references into this video. Interesting.
Sounds like a stupid plan, right? And tremendously inhumane. But in the show, it actually works on a young girl named Test Subject 11, who acquires some swell psychic abilities in the process. Now, as you can imagine, being kidnapped as a child, then tortured for use as a government tool kinda sucks. And Test Subject 11 escapes at the first chance she gets. Bad news there for the CIA. Worse news there for everyone else, there's a bloodthirsty monster on the loose. You see, the MK Ultra experiments may just have also created a portal to an alternate dimension Earth called the Upside Down, where everything is basically the same, only dead, darker, and with a ton of allergens floating around in the air. So looking for some better air quality or just an Allegra, a monster called the Demogorgon escapes through the portal and goes on a killing spree throughout Hawkins until 11, along with her D&D buddies, traps it in the town middle school and destroys it. And perhaps herself using her mind powers. Hashtag small town problems. So that's the basic gist of Season 1, but shortly after its release, one fan theory gained a whole lot of popularity. That 11 and the monstrous Demogorgon are one and the same. I.e. that just like the same buildings and locations exist in the Upside Down as they do in the real world, maybe people have equivalents in the Upside Down as well. And that the Demogorgon is the Upside Down version of L. It was a good theory with some decent evidence at the time, but it wasn't 100% convincing. So with the new season on the horizon, I went in and I did a bunch of digging myself to see what else I could find, and oh boy, I think you're gonna be surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you even make this video in the first place, but I really like it that MadPat introduced this video as, yeah, it's gonna get debunked. So, okay, fair point.
So that's the plan for today. Review the existing evidence suggesting the connection, as well as the additional hints, clues, and science I've been able to find that support the idea, then cover the huge hint that exists in the Season 2 trailers, and what started as an interesting idea becomes a convincing theory by the end of the day. So grab your favorite
a film theory,
breakfast snack of choice, and let's begin. Hey, except for that one. Lego my ego. First, the existing evidence. The theme of duality is everywhere in Stranger Things. I mean, look no further than the Upside Down itself. It's a dark version of Earth where everything has a mirror image. That's, pretty darn obvious. Then there's the episode 1 reference to X-Men comic number 134.
I'll take your X-Men 134!
AKA the start of the Dark Phoenix saga, in which Jean Grey, a powerful psychic mutant, becomes an even more powerful entity known as the Phoenix. The story goes that Jean eventually develops an evil alter ego known as the Dark Phoenix, becoming a super-powered villain that the X-Men must unite to defeat. At the end of the series, Jean Grey sacrifices herself to save her friends. It's an interesting choice of comic, considering that Eleven, a psychic, might just have an evil counterpart that she too sacrifices herself to defeat in order to save her friends.
There is that kind of reference involved. Maybe MatPat does have a point. Let's listen to him.
Parallels? I think so. Even the choice of calling this Mario Piranha Plant reject monster the name Demogorgon supports this theory. As we see in the opening minutes of episode 1, the Demogorgon is an actual monster from the real-life game of Dungeons & Dragons. For those who don't know, since its first appearance back in 1976, the Demogorgon has remained one of D&D's most iconic monsters. And although a few things about it have changed over the years, a few design features have always stayed consistent. Specifically, the monster's 2 heads sharing one body. One head represents deception and lies, and the other is madness and insanity. They are themselves a duality. It's also canon, according to Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition, that both heads are secretly out to destroy each other. So you have 2 connected heads that are trying to destroy each other. Sounds kinda like Elle and the monster, 2 connected entities that are trying to kill one another. Even the themes of the 2 heads connect to these characters. Elle would be associated with deceptions and lies because she's a product of a government cover-up. She was kidnapped, she was used. The monster, meanwhile, seems to lack all rational thought. It's drawn like an animal to the scent of blood. It kills indiscriminately. It's an entity of madness that lashes out at everything, including Eleven's creator, Dr. Brenner. Which, by the way, is an interesting scene that, to my knowledge, no one has picked apart yet. When the monster appears at the school at the climax of the show, it doesn't go after the people who are literally shooting at it with automatic machine guns. It makes a beeline straight for Dr. Brenner, Eleven's so-called father who spent his life torturing her as a part of MK Ultra. Up until this point in the show, the monster had been attacking anything and everything with abandon, so why here is it selecting its target? And why specifically Brenner? It only makes sense if 11 is the Demogorgon.
Interesting. Is that a coincidence or plot?
Embodying her madness, her rage. That's how the monster knows him. It has a personal connection to him through Elle. It
Personal vendetta.
Kills him because that's what Elle would love to do to Brenner. But perhaps most blatantly of all are the parallels that happen in the final moments of the season. First, the Demogorgon raises its hand just as Elle finishes him off. Elle raises her right arm, and the monster, for no reason, does the same right before it disappears. They are literally mirroring each other, and when the monster disappears, so does 11. 11 even says that she is the monster.
I'm the monster.
Coincidence? Obviously not. Oh yeah, and all of this is without me even mentioning the fact that Elle is the reason the monster comes to Hawkins to begin with. She comes into contact with him during one of her telepathy sessions, which is what opens the rift the Demogorgon escapes through. If that doesn't seal it for you, I don't know what will. Actually, yes I do, because I have even more evidence to throw into this pile. One element most recaps of this theory overlook is how 11 and this Pan's Labyrinth wannabe share the exact same power set. And when I say the exact same powers, I mean the exact same powers. We see multiple times near the end of the season that one of 11's powers is to access the Upside Down from the real world without crossing over. She uses this ability most frequently to speak with the missing boy, Will Byers. The monster is also able to do this, either fully or partially crossing over whenever and wherever it feels like. Even in the original planning phases for the series, it was clear that 11 and the monster were meant to be parallels of each other. In the original original pilot script, people would bleed from their nose and ears when in contact with the Demogorgon, similar to how Eleven bleeds from her nose and sometimes her ears when using her telekinetic powers. Even science supports the connection between the two characters. Throughout season 1, we see that when Eleven has to push her powers to their limits, like when attempting psychic communication between worlds, the electricity of the surrounding area flickers or just goes completely out. It's the exact same effect that the Demogorgon has on electricity. Whenever he's close and surrounded by electric lights, it always causes everything to flicker. This electric potential is also something we see come across in the interdimensional phone calls that happen in the series. Will's mother Joyce repeatedly gets phone calls from her son in the Upside Down, calls that get cut off when the monster is near, and the calls always end with an electrical shock, again showing his electric potential. Convinced? No? Come on! I mean, at this point, even the characters think she's the monster.
Did you ever stop to think that maybe she's the monster?
Fine, be a stickler then. The biggest clue that absolutely proves the connection between Eleven and the monster is something that we've all known about since the very first episode of the series, and something that has been very consciously reinforced in the season 2 trailers. In the beginning of episode 1, the monster shows that it's able to unlock Will's door telepathically. Look at how the director frames the shot and shows the monster clearly able to slide the door lock. And throughout season 1, we see how Elle's able to perform similar telekinetic tricks, like making the Millennium Falcon float, flipping a car, and, opposite of the monster, locking a door. So that already shows that both she and the monster possess telekinesis, but I think the creators of the show are hinting at a little bit more than that. Here's the key moment in the season 2 trailer I'm referring to. We see Eleven running through the woods before getting a close-up of a sliding door lock, just like the one we saw at the very beginning of season 1. And just like before, it slowly slides until it unlocks. But this time, we're assuming it's being done by Elle, because it's the middle of the day and we just saw her running. The show is giving us a direct parallel between the actions of the monster and the actions of Elle, which means either the monster isn't dead, or at this point, Elle is the monster. You've gotta be convinced, right? The names, the powers, the parallel scenes, the pop culture references, even the science. Everything points to them being one and the same, and that has huge implications for the story. Remember, like the lore of the Demogorgon, as long as one head exists, the other remains, locked in this eternal struggle to destroy each other. And as we can see, Elle is certainly a part of this season, which means we may not be done with the Demogorgon, and won't be until Elle chooses to sacrifice herself, this time for good. Or alternatively, she's just the monster now. Could definitely be that. Or option 3, the new season has literally nothing to do with any of this. That's probably the one it'll end up being. But hey, oh wait, even the number 11 reads the same forwards and backwards, right side up and upside down. Boom! Done! Mic dropped! But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut.
Wow, that's some creative thoughts out there. Interesting. Well, let's continue.
Want some more Stranger Things? Or maybe just more of me being a goofball? Well, in either case,
Stranger
you're in luck
Things.
because I'm hosting a new show in partnership with Amazon Fire TV called Couchland, where I get you up to speed on all the must-watch biggest shows that are streaming in less time than it takes to toast your Eggo waffles. So far, I've covered Transparent, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and of course, Stranger Things. But other big-name titles are on the way, including Westworld, which I've done a theory about here on the channel. So if you want to know what's worth watching, or just want to get caught up without having to watch the whole series from the beginning, or heck, if you just want to spend a bit more time with my lame jokes and Ronnie's cartoon recreations of some of entertainment's biggest names right now.
Wow, I really miss you. Thank you so much, Ronnie. Thank you.
Then check out Couchland on the Amazon Fire TV channel. Link is in the description, or better yet, just click the annotation you see on screen right about now, or in a few seconds from now. They can only appear with 20 seconds left on the video. Each episode is like 3 minutes long, so go over there and tell them Matt Pat sent ya. Seriously, please do it. It'll make me look really good to Amazon if you just flood their comment section with how excited you are to have more Matt Pat in your life. In fact, you could even do this. Go over there and comment, Matt Pat is so blank, I want to blank. Obviously, you replace the blanks with funny words.
Matt Pat is so educational. I want to learn.
Or don't, whatever. Now go, watch, stream, and enjoy. And now if you'll excuse me, I need to keep refreshing Netflix so I can just marathon my way through season 2. See you on the flip side, or should I say, the upside down
Upside down
side. Whatever, just click and I'll see you next week.
Well, thank you so much for watching this video. It's very interesting with all the thought-provoking ideas. Well, I hope that you find this video very interesting and unique to watch. And if you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you all so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a film theory, and cut. And hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Thank you so much. Bye bye, bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support. Thank you. Everything good? Right, hi everyone! Oh, 2 hours in the video, 2 hours in the live stream already. Hi everyone! Can I just say something? Oh, I have to sign to say something. But aren't I already signing? This action cannot be performed while inside. Okay. I try signing. I'll try typing something, because if not the chat will be just very blah. Yeah. I'm signed in, right? Yeah, I'm signed in. Correct. This section will inside. Oh. Okay, got it. So I'm gonna say hello, everyone. Oh, sorry, wrong. Hello, everyone. Bingo. Anyone there? I still have like 9 more videos. Instead of 6, let's aim for 8 videos today. 8 videos. There's okay. Right now it's gonna be 4 o'clock. By the time I finish, it'll be like what, 5 o'clock, going to 6 o'clock. Let's aim for 8 or 10 videos. Let's aim for 8 or 10 videos today. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
Elves, what could possibly be next? Oh, I know! Maybe they'll mention that time that Thor nuked China.
Okay, I need to off this because it's lagging a lot. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. I'm glad I'm back. Gosh, I really need a better processor, better processor, better RAM, so on and so forth. Really needs it. So this is Thor. Thor and Hawk. Who is the strongest Avenger? Strongest Avenger. Point Break. Thor and Hulk. Who is the strongest? Okay. Hi everyone, it's me. Oh gosh, the mouse is not working. Gosh, the mouse is not working. That was such a good opening. Mouse is working now. Hi everyone, it's me, and today Thor and Hulk. Hi everyone, it's me, Thor and Hulk. Who is the strongest Avenger? Let's find out together.
Oh man, there's a new Thor movie? I wonder what it'll be about. I mean, they've already had him fighting Loki and the Dark Elves.
Oh my gosh, one more time. Oh. That was such a good opening, come on. Hi everyone, it's me, Thor and Hulk. Who is the strongest Avenger? Let's find out together. Let's go.
Oh man, there's a new Thor movie? I wonder what it'll be about. I mean, they've already had him fighting Loki and the Dark Elves. What could possibly be next? Oh, I know! Maybe they'll mention that time that Thor nuked China. Or better yet, maybe they'll tell the story of that time that Thor helped Hitler kill Stalin. Yeah! Wow. Those are the MCU movies that I'd be really interested to see.
No.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory. Hi!
The show that keeps digging until it finds the stuff that everyone else is hoping you forget. So after ruining Ant-Man and Spider-Man, I figured it was time for a change. Time to tackle a superhero who isn't themed after something you crush under your boot. That's right. Today we're talking Thor Ragnarok, and I'm happy to report that my shameless groveling at the feet of Disney did finally get me into an early preview of one of their movies, but have no fear, today's theory is 100% spoiler-free. Now, in the latest trailer for Thor Ragnarok, they tease a moment that serves as a running joke throughout the movie.
Voice activation required.
Thor, strongest Avenger.
Let me try. Banner. Welcome, strongest Avenger.
What? Thor consistently claims that he's the strongest Avenger, but gets undermined time and time again by the Hulk. It's
that was a very funny trailer to watch. That was a very funny trailer.
Hilarious, and it also got me thinking. Of the two, who would be the stronger Avenger? Obviously, the Quinjet computer has been programmed to think that Hulk is the strongest, but Thor is literally a god. So shouldn't he win the title? Stan Lee certainly seems to think so. In a radio interview asking about who would win in a fight, Stan went on record to say,
I would have to say Thor, because strong as Hulk is, he's still immortal, but Thor is one of the Norse gods.
So, who's right here? Does Stan Lee truly know his own creation, or will we prove today that he's more out of touch than a parent trying to understand what a rice gum is? Is Thor right to feel slighted by the computer, or is it just stating a fact that this arrogant Asgardian refuses to accept? It's time to settle this superhuman grudge match once and for all with the greatest superpower of them all, research. First, let me make it clear, I want to determine who is literally the strongest, not who would win in a fight, since that involves strategy and fighting techniques. I'm talking pound for pound, who is physically stronger, who's able to lift more and punch harder. So let's start at the very beginning, which I hear is a very good place to start, the comics. Across their mutual...
Let's start from the very beginning, a very good place to start.
55-year history, these two Goliaths have gone toe-to-toe a lot. So maybe by seeing who wins in these fights more often, we can start to figure out who is the stronger superhero. Their first fight, 1963's Avenger number 3. No clear winner. Okay, their second fight, 1965's Journey into Mystery number 112. No clear...
The mighty god!
Clear winner. Okay, third time's a charm. 1971's The Submariner 35. No clear winner. Defenders 10, draw. Incredible Hulk 300, draw. Mighty Thor 489, draw. By this point, you might be noticing a pattern. The comics want to keep the winner of this battle more vague than a Scott Cawthon storyline.
Ambiguity.
Nearly every matchup, the two either stalemate each other or the US government comes in and drops a nuke to stop the two from fighting. That's your taxpayer dollars at work, ladies and gentlemen. However, there are a few pieces of evidence we can use hidden across these battles. In 1987's Mighty Thor number 385, Hulk repeatedly says that Thor can't beat him without his hammer. Thor denies it and throws his hammer away twice during the battle, but it's only once Mjolnir is back in play that he's able to topple the Hulk. That wouldn't mean much on its own, but in 2011's Fear Itself number 5, Thor confesses that he could never beat Hulk. And it doesn't seem like he's exaggerating either. In 2012's Hulk Smash Avengers number 1, all the Avengers collectively work together to try and hold the Hulk down, with Thor using the handle of Mjolnir to pin Hulk's neck. Hulk sends them all flying, giving us our first true piece of evidence that, in the moment, he was stronger than Thor, as well as all the other Avengers combined. Then again, we are talking about a guy who was canonically defeated by a strategic box of puppies, so the title of Strongest Avenger might not be as prestigious as it might initially sound. Okay, so their head-to-head battles might be a draw, but what about comparing their relative feats of strength? During Marvel's Secret Wars 4, a cosmic entity known as the Beyonder sends a number of heroes and villains to an artificial planet to battle. At one point, the Beyonder drops a mountain range on them, and our not-so-jolly green giant literally shoulders the burden while the others plan their escape. The mountain range is confirmed to be 2 miles tall. 2 miles of pure rock tall, and the cover itself says that it weighs 150 billion tons. That is 3 times 10 to the 14th power pounds of rock on his shoulders, which is
of the rock on Hawks. Oh, true. Why didn't the rock become the Hawk?
incredible, but not nearly as incredible as what we see in the Incredible Hulk 102.
Oh, he became Black Adam, so...
Where he pulls a planet back together with his bare hands. He literally grabs 2 tectonic plates and yanks them back together. My favorite part of this comic, by the way, is the explanation for this. He shifted the plates. Of course he did. He's the Hulk. Considering the weight of the Earth's crust is about 6,200 times 10 to the 19th pounds, and there are about 15 major tectonic plates on Earth, each of those plates Hulk is moving is gonna add up to about 4.1 sextillion pounds. And he's moving 2 of them with his bare hands. Good luck standing up to that one, Thor. Except he does. It seems like he can stand toe-to-toe against this number. In Thor 272, Thor and Loki encounter the giant Utgard, who challenges the Asgardians to some rather unique challenges, one of which is to lift his cat. No, you heard that right. Lift a cat. And you all thought that the plot of Dark World was bad. Look at the—
Oh! Wow! Did not see that burned. Ouch.
Source material they're working with here, people! In all seriousness, this story is based on Norse mythology, and as you may expect, the cat isn't actually a cat. In both the comic and the myth, the cat is actually revealed to be a disguised Midgard serpent. That probably doesn't mean a whole lot to you. Don't worry, it didn't mean a whole lot to me either. The serpent is actually a massive snake, also known as Jormungandr. Whose sole purpose is encircling the planet and destroying it. Who's a bad kitty snake? No treats for you, get in the corner. More importantly for our purposes though, Jormungandr is massively heavy. Although we don't ever get an exact weight for the serpent, we know that it has the mass necessary to surround the entire Earth and destroy it. The force that it would take to destroy Earth, according to people who have spent a great deal of time thinking about destroying the Earth, would be about 2.24 times 10 to the 24th pounds of force. Although Thor fails the test, he does manage to lift one of the cat's legs off the ground, a feat that is apparently impressive to Utgard the Giant. I don't know, I pick up all 4 of Skip's legs all the time and he's getting fatter by the day. Anyway, that means Thor is exerting the equivalent of 5 septillion pounds of force, a full 3 more digits than Hulk pulling tectonic plates. So maybe Thor and Stan Lee are right to think that Thor is in fact the strongest Avenger. Avenger. But here's the thing, comics are weird. I mean, we just talked about how Thor's strongest feat in the comics is getting a single cat paw off the ground.
Yeah.
Strength scaling in the comics is very different from strength scaling in the movies, and honestly, this is film theory. I'm more interested in the movies anyway, and the MCU operates by a different standard, a world where Thor isn't a Hitler supporter. As Stan Lee said, in the comic universe, Thor is literally a god, but in the MCU, Odin makes a point to make it clear that they're not gods. They're mortals, just like us.
We are not gods. We're born, we live, we die, just as humans do.
Give or take 5,000 years.
Give or take 5,000 years.
And while Asgardians have proven themselves to be quite handy in the MCU, like in the original Thor,
There you go.
it now puts them in a completely different vein as the Asgardians from Earth 616. That's the main Marvel Comics universe, for those of you who are unaware of top-level geek speak. So to get our final answer, let's focus on moments of strength from the movies to determine whether Ragnarok's computer is just a big troll. Our first baseline measurement is Iron Man. Across the 17 films in the MCU at this point, we've seen Tony Stark take on both Hulk and Thor.
Wow, it's just iconic, you know. Iron Man just super iconic. I am Iron Man.
So their relative performance against him will be a good benchmark. The battle against Thor happens in the original Avengers movie. During the battle, Thor uses his lightning powers to zap the Iron Man suit, which has the reverse effect he wanted and charges the armor up to 475% power.
Power at 400% capacity. How about that?
You sure about that, Jarvis? Then why does it say 475 on Tony's readout? Anyway, Iron Man comes out of this battle alive. Sure, you could say Thor may have been holding back, but he was at minimum trying to stop Tony and ultimately failed. Compare that now to Hulk versus Iron Man in Age of Ultron. Here, Tony uses his special Hulkbuster armor, a suit that is powered by 11 reactor cores. Even with 11 times the output of one normal suit, Tony still couldn't overpower Hulk.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep.
So we gotta give the point to Hulk.
And then Iron Man just, and then Hulk just pull a Spider-Man. You have a metal arm? That's awesome, dude.
And what about Hulk and Thor's first cinematic battle? Here's Thor struggling to hold back Hulk's one arm, but then here's footage of Thor completely destroying Hulk mere seconds later with Mjolnir.
With Mjolnir.
Which is something we haven't taken into consideration yet, the hammer. Why are we spending so much time calculating and comparing when shouldn't Mjolnir give us our answer outright? Thor can lift Mjolnir when no one else can, thus he should be the strongest, right? Well, not exactly. You see, if this were the comics, that might be the case. Comic book Mjolnir has a specific mechanism by which it works. As unworthy people attempt to lift it, it starts to gain mass. That leaves open the slim but very real possibility of someone else being able to lift it. In fact, Hulk is able to.
Interesting. So, from what I know, right, the people that can wield Mjolnir is Thor, Ultron, Vision, Thor, Visions, Captain America, and then there's one more, Hela. Actually, Hela didn't wield it. She destroyed Mjolnir. She destroyed.
Hammer gains
spoiler.
mass slower than Hulk gains strength as he increasingly gets more angry trying to lift the darn thing. His strength eventually overtakes it and he becomes one of the few to be able to wield Mjolnir. In the MCU, however, we know Mjolnir isn't actually based on weight, but rather on Odin's enchantment.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Worthiness.
Not an issue of mass, but rather worthiness. The hammer allows itself to be lifted by those deemed worthy. When Thor was on the naughty list, he couldn't budge the thing. It's only after he's back on the nice list that he's able to lift it again. So ability to pick up Mjolnir is a moot point, but the hammer itself can help us crown our final winner. Back in the Avengers, Thor goes toe-to-toe with the big guy and isn't holding himself back. After Mjolnir knocks Hulk down, Hulk attempts to pick it up and retaliate, but learns, as we all know, that Mjolnir will only move for those that are deemed worthy. The result is Hulk pulling on it with all his might, and then this. Remember when Thor was trying to lift Mjolnir? I'd don't remember his feet sinking into any rock. After doing some calculations on the size of Hulk's feet and the strength of the tarmac on the shield ship, to dig himself into a floor like this, Hulk would have had to output 3,768,000 pounds of force to dent the asphalt floors per individual foot. Now compare that to Thor's big moment of strength from the movies, crushing Iron Man's arm. At the end of the original Iron Man, Tony corrects a little fallacy about his suit.
I mean, it's not technically accurate. The suit's a gold titanium alloy.
He's not Iron Man, he's Gold Titanium Alloy Man.
Gold Titanium Iron Man! Iron Man sounds better.
In 2016, a team at
must have the iron inside of him.
Rice University discovered a real gold titanium alloy that was 4 times harder than steel. 4 times! According to Wikipedia, structural steel can take a force of about 36,000 psi before it begins to fall or break. So that would mean an alloy 4 times the strength could take about 144,000 pounds of pressure per square inch. In order for a hand about the size of Thor's to output that same level of pressure to crush Iron Man's gauntlet, it would translate to 3,456,000 pounds of force. 300,000 pounds of force under what we know Hulk's output of 1 foot to be. So any way you slice it, Stan Lee is just outright wrong. It's easy to assume that a godlike superhero would be the most overpowered, but most of that is coming from Mjolnir itself.
Thor OP, please nerf.
What Ragnarok plays as a joke at Thor's expense is just factually true. Based on what's said in the comics, their feats of strength, logical comparisons, and just flat out math and science, there is no denying that Hulk is the strongest Avenger. Well, until we factor Vision into all this, then Hulk better start watching out. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut.
I really like it. It's like strongest Avenger XX9, strongest Avenger XX9. Point Break. It's like shredded. Oh, so cute, so cute, so cute, so cute. Oh, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you find this video very interesting and fun to watch. It's very entertaining to watch as well, right? If you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share about us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of the support and encouragement for me. It's very motivating and uplifting that with all your encouragement and positivity, I continue to make these videos. Thank you all so much. I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a film theory, and cut. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. This is my 7th video. Probably can make it. Hopefully can make it. Doctor Who. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Ah, gosh. Alright. Hi everyone, it's me, and today, let's watch Doctor Who Part 3. Let's go.
Surely there's nothing that can go wrong by building up years of hype before finally releasing a long-anticipated sequel. I mean, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull lived up to everything Indiana Jones fans were hoping for. Independence Day Resurgence, Zoolander 2. The critics of all those movies agreed that the wait between movies was probably the best thing for the series, right? Clearly, I have nothing to worry about with this episode.
Oh, that's a big red flag.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to sorry, my cat sat on the I key. So in
Hello everyone, welcome to Film Theory. No. It shall be hello everyone, welcome to Film the.
Last week's part 2 of this epic Whovian adventure, we continued our quest to lay out point by point the reasons why Time Lords could technically walk among us. Wait, what? You're saying it wasn't last week? You're telling me it was 2 years ago? No, that doesn't sound right. Are you sure you didn't fall into a TARDIS or something? Maybe.
I find very funny that he made part 1, part 2 in the year 2015, and then part 3 in the year 2017. 2 years apart, 2 years apart.
You don't need proof that Time Lords exist because you are the Time Lord. No? Not buying it? Okay, well, here's the real story. For those of you who haven't been subscribed since literally the day this channel launched.
I did.
We've done
I watched it. I watched the first video.
2 Doctor Who theories in the past.
Since the first video.
The distant past. The very far distant past. The first 2 months of this channel past. And if you haven't seen them, you should probably go watch them now, I guess. I don't know, they were from the infancy of this channel. Who even knows what I was doing back in 2015? But this is a part 3, so to not at least help you find parts 1 and 2 of the series, 78 videos later would be pretty mean of me. You can find all of those in the eye icon in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Which begs the question of why did it take me over 2 years to release the 3rd theory? Maybe I needed to do some time travel research of my own. Maybe the feds were trying to silence me about Time Lords. Maybe I'm working on launching a new theory channel. Or maybe, just maybe, the script has been written the entire time, but I was never fully satisfied with the content contained in the episode.
Huh, that's interesting, because maybe, just maybe, all of it is true. I mean, you did create something called the Food Theorists, and also, yeah, you mentioned that the script was not on par.
Not feeling substantial enough for a full-fledged theory that would be believable to you guys. Could be any one of those, who knows? Maybe I just leave that one up to you guys to theorize about. But regardless, the time is here now because enough people at VidCon Australia pestered me about it, and I can finally reveal to you all the truth. Time Lords are real. There's not just evidence for 1 or 2 of them. Oh no, sir. Crawling around the internet is actually evidence of a ton of these guys, popping in and out of time and space. From simple entertainers like Nicolas Cage, who's made appearances as far back as the American Civil War. Oh no, wait, earlier as a member of the famous Habsburg family. Or the man we currently know as Keanu Reeves, popping in as early as the 8th century as Charlemagne. Yeah, Charlemagne himself. Whoa, think it's just a Hollywood movie star conspiracy? Well, think again. Major political figurehead Vladimir Putin mysteriously doesn't seem to have aged in the over 100 years he's been on the planet Earth. And Mark Zuckerberg is mysteriously also Prince Philip IV of Spain. But these could all be just doppelgangers, right? Mere lookalikes. Whoa, Peter Dinklage really does look like Diego Velasquez. Holy cow, should this episode just be about him? Wait, don't lose focus, MatPat. All of these other schmoes are just fun lookalikes from the course of history. None of these Time Lord candidates compare to the most well-documented contestant for Time Lord status, Comte de Saint-Germain. Never heard of him? Well, let me make some introductions since you'll be seeing him in your past, present, and future from now on. Comte de Saint-Germain, or just Count of Saint-Germain for those of you who failed French class, was your quintessential Renaissance man, born, in theory, in 1691. He was reportedly the son of Prince Francis II Rakoczy Rakotsi, Prince Francis II of Transylvania, which, can we be honest, will always beat every other place for spookiest country contest. It turns out that Transylvania isn't just Dracula's favorite destination, it's also home to some pretty creepy time travelers as well. So while our buddy Humdrum lived there, he was a locally well-known philosopher, artist, scientist, and musician. That, in and of itself, isn't crazy, since we know other people in history, like Leonardo da Vinci, have been Renaissance men. But take a closer look at the Count's public-facing life, and you start to see there's more to this man than meets the eye. A friend of his,
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Giacomo Casanova wrote in his memoirs that the Count would regularly talk about knowing, quote, the secret of universal medicine, that he possessed a mastery over nature, that he could melt diamonds and have the ability to form out of 10 or 12 small diamonds one large one. And at dinner parties, the Count was known to talk about historical figures like Cleopatra and Henry VIII as if he knew them personally. When skeptical historians would try to trip the Count up by questioning him about tiny historical details, the Count would always reply with remarkable accuracy, leaving everyone dumbfounded by how much he seemed to know about people from completely different times and places. And remember, this was hundreds of years before modern communication and only a couple hundred years after the printing press was invented. So everything the Count knew about music, philosophy, medicine, science, and history had to have been learned one page at a time over the course of a lifetime. Well, that, or experienced one day at a time as you travel through an eternal lifespan. So okay, he knows more than he should about a few things and claims to know the secrets of science and medicine, but is that Time Lord worthy? It isn't on its own, but then consider this. The really funny thing about our buddy the Count is that no one really knew where he came from. In fact, while it was said that he was the son of Prince Francis II of Transylvania, the only person who claimed this was the Count himself. And when he was pressed for an answer as to his origins, he told people he was 500 years old. I mean, really, imagine that conversation. Hello, where did you go to school? I'm 500 years old. I was born before universities were a thing. Oh my, I bet Greek life really blew chunks back then. In my day, Greek life was still being lived by the Greeks. 500 years old, you're really not getting this, are you? On top of that, he claimed to have been present at very specific historic...
I really like it, it's like... I really like it, the joke is like, back in my days, the Greek life was lived by the Greeks. It's like, oh, true. You can't deny that. True.
Events during his 500-year lifespan. He told people he had a room in the Tower of London in the 1300s. Then he claimed to have studied alchemy in France in the 1400s. And even if you don't go with drunk person at a party history, even the real documented parts of his life seem to play into his claims. According to tangible historical records that do exist, he was actually born in 1691 and died in 1784 at the age of 91. Now that's a pretty amazing lifespan for someone in the 17th century, but we're not...
Yes, I agree with you. Back in the days, it would be surprising if you reach 60 years old. It's like, oh my gosh, you reach 60 years old? Wow, you're old. Can you imagine 91 years old? 91 years old. That is super old. That's super impressive.
Just talking about one guy who lived a particularly long time in history. Instead, what we're looking at is a man who's capable of going wherever he wants or whenever he wants during that life, under tons of different aliases. He went by dozens of different names. The Marquis de Montferrat, Comte de Bellemare, Chevalier, Schoning, Count Weldon, Count Soltkopf, Graf Sarogi, and Prince Ragowski. I give up on that list. Just to name a few, and the hardest few. He was apparently fluent in French and German, spoke some Polish, was learning English, but was most comfortable speaking Spanish or Portuguese. Besides being able to take on all kinds of different backgrounds and names though, this guy also shows up
Get it, backgrounds, get it, because the desktop background.
Over the place. He was documented in London during the Jacobite Revolution, showed up in French court with Louis XV. He negotiated peace in Holland during the 7 Years' War. All this time, he was known as a wealthy aristocrat who had major art and book collections that he kept in his royal estates, but when he supposedly died, they found almost no possessions on him. He did all this traveling, participated in major historical events all across Europe, met some of the most famous people in the world, but didn't keep any sort of memorabilia, souvenirs, nothing. No artwork, no library of books, no castles, no snow globe.
Selflessness to the max? Maybe.
In fact, the town he died in had to auction off what little stuff he had 6 months after his funeral because no living relative came to claim any of it. None of it adds up to what most people would find believable from one guy's lifetime. And he's still not done, even after death. Over the years after his supposed death, he also just kept right on popping up at major historical events. In 1793, he supposedly appeared at the execution of Marie Antoinette, and in 1799, there was an account of him being present in the French courts during Napoleon's national coup. In 1820, on the night before Charles Ferdinand was murdered, the Countess de Adhemar reported visiting with him. In 1870, Napoleon III was apparently so interested in this quote-unquote undying count that he had a special commission put together to collect information on him. But all those records were mysteriously lost in a fire in 1871, only 1 year later. In 1914, 2 Bavarian soldiers claimed to have captured him during World War I, and on and on and on, with his latest appearance being as late as the 1960s at a political conference in Berlin. So Time Lords exist. They're on record. Call it case closed, everyone. We got him. 14th official doctor confirmed.
I have to disagree with you. Because Time Lords, they do not die at the age of 50 years old. Like, if I can live until... How old are you? I'm 500 years old. Alright, so... You only live until 500 years old. That's the age. You're not immortal. You just die at a later date than people. Just like how Loki had mentioned in the MCU, we are not gods, we are mortals, but plus minus 5,000 years old. So Norse gods in the MCU, plus minus 5,000 years old. For humans, we are still mortals, plus minus 500 years old. Plus minus 500 years old, we are still mortals, we can still die. So the undying or the immortal is just incorrect, right?
But not so fast. Honestly, when I was scripting this episode many years ago and now today, this is where I wanted to end it, with Time Lords
I really like it that he's so young and cute, you know, so adorable.
existing and Doctor Who being
The youthfulness. Right now it's that pet.
totally plausible in real life. But while researching it, I'd be lying if I didn't say I came across some ideas that cast a bit of doubt onto this whole Time Lord conspiracy, and that the episode itself felt incomplete without discussing why this obviously probably isn't a real thing. What if I could not only tell you why we think Time Lords exist, but why we like to believe they exist in the first place? It turns out when we create conspiracies like about Keanu Reeves having previous lives, we're actually engaging in a kind of intellectual gymnastics. Famous psychologist Kirby Farrell has written pretty extensively about conspiracies and how putting together the pieces of conspiracy puzzles give humans the same kind of satisfaction as putting together something like a complex jigsaw puzzle or solving a difficult logic problem. It makes us smarter, it helps us to feel more empowered, and it actually makes us better equipped to solve problems in the real world.
Mental gymnastics. Interesting.
Like programming computers, building car engines, and learning music. In the research Farrell has done, he's actually found that people who buy into conspiracy theories aren't the wide-eyed rubes you might think they are. In fact, it's the complete opposite. People who tend to love conspiracy theories, like I don't know, people who watch online videos proving that their favorite characters from all sorts of media are secretly evil, they're not the gullible ones. They tend to be the skeptics of the world, whether they're cynical about something in life or just don't take what they're told at face value. Even in the face of social pressures, people who look for conspiracies tend to form their own opinions and buy into conspiracies on their own. Does that mean the conspiracies are right? Most of the time, no. Conspiracy theories are just that. Is the Count of St. Germain a real Time Lord? Maybe, and then again, he was probably just a really good liar who read a lot of history books, sounded like he knew what he was talking about, and left a pretty hefty reputation behind him.
With a very good charismatic guy with very charming looks, just tall and handsome.
Stop and look at the facts. It was actually common for nobility to go by multiple names, so they could avoid talking to people that they didn't like. It was also common for them to travel around Europe and then inflate their stories about their own travels. Hashtag bragging rights. There was no fact-checking at that time, so all he had to do to convince other people he was smart was just convincing whoever was in the room with him. And all those historical accounts of him appearing after he died, well, several of them were from an unhinged woman who fantasized about him after his death. The others were reporting from high-stress situations, like the battlefield in World War I and political negotiations during the Cold War.
And you must understand that internet wasn't a thing to double-check, to fact-check.
You unpack a lot of conspiracies, you find that the majority of them are explained by simple, if kind of disappointing logic. But at the end of the day, my point here is that
then there's a cognitive dissonance effect, mere exposure effect. You know, There's one more thing. There's one more I forgot. Like repetition thingy.
That might not actually be what matters here. What matters is that you asked the question in the first place. That you saw evidence out there and you didn't take your own assumptions at face value. And for all you Whovians out there who've been waiting 2 years for this episode, well, one of the defining characteristics of that show is its constant ability to redefine your expectations, keep you curious, and keep you trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And a person who's skeptical of what they're told, looks for the facts themselves, and comes to their own opinions off of those facts, that's the type of person this world needs now more than ever. So maybe the 2-year wait was worth it. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. Hold up, you waited 2 years for this episode, and now that you've watched it, you've got a whole nother month before the Doctor Who Christmas special. So what are you gonna do with your timey-wimey loving selves to fill the gap? How about watching another sci-fi series about people who travel through time to save the lives of others? Wow, that sounds a lot like Doctor Who, I hear you saying, and yes, it is, but it's even better because it's here on YouTube right now. All you need are 2 words, lifeline. Well, it's 2 words, but they're fused together into one bigger word. A compound word, technically. Lifeline is all about a company that sends its agents 33 days into the future to save the lives of people that they know are gonna die. Kinda like mini Time Lords in training. One agent fails to save his wife's life and suddenly it becomes a manhunt. Through time! And not only is it a cool concept that perfectly matches your interests in Doctor Who, but it's also a series done by my personal friends Sam and Nico from the channel Corridor Digital, who, if you're not familiar, have been pioneers of high-quality, effects-driven videos since the earliest days of YouTube.
I agree, the Corridor channel is just really good at animation stuff.
I love these guys, I love their work, and I think that you're gonna love them too. So check out their new series, Lifeline. The first episode is available right now. Just wave your little sonic screwdriver over the link you see on screen, or click the link in the description, and then keep your eyes locked on the screen like it's an angel statue. And heck, if you like it, you've got yourself 8 30-minute episodes to fill your time. Enough to keep you busy until the premiere of the first ever female Doctor in December. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to start working on another trilogy of episodes, the 3rd part of which will come out years after it's relevant. See you then.
See you then. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you find this video very special and interesting. But having said that, I have to mention that it's very important for us to be understanding and polite and be respectful about it. Have basic, proper human decency. And when there's overwhelming evidence to prove that you're wrong, be understanding. We have to draw the line that, yes, I am wrong. I apologize. Please forgive me. My deepest apologies. Alright? You do not have to always say that. But, sometimes you have to accept it at face value and just keep going with life. Thank you so much. But, well, can't say but. And, if you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have any share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Very motivating and inspiring for me to continue making these kind of videos. Thanks so much for your wholesomeness, uplifting, and positive message for me. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a film theory, and cut. And hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Do remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Alright, 2 hours plus. Wow. I've reacted to 7 videos. So let's make it 10 now. Just make it 10. 3 more videos to go. 3 more videos to go. In total, sums up to 36 minutes. 36 minutes can but before 6 PM. Right now it's 4:34 PM. If one video takes 50 minutes, hopefully can. If one video takes 15 minutes, 3 videos takes 45 minutes. Plus at least 40-50 minutes. Okay, let's go.
Remember when Rogue One trailers came out?
What is this? Star Wars The Last Jedi. Hi everyone, it's me, and today right, scan. Hi everyone, it's me! Okay. One more time. Hi everyone, it's me! Star Wars! Oh sorry, and today. And hi everyone, it's me, and today Star Wars The Last Jedi. Predictions? One more time, let's go. Hi everyone, it's me! And today, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Predictions? Okay.
Hey, remember when Rogue One trailers came out and the internet went, ooh, we figured out who Rey's mom is? Do we have any updates on that? Yeah, it might be time to rethink that one. Internet, welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory. Hi.
A show that knows the chances of one of my Star Wars theories successfully navigating the asteroid field of the internet are 3,720 to 1. But you know what? Just can't help myself. You know, loyal theorists, it takes a big man to admit when he's wrong, and yeah, I've been kinda wrong once or twice when it comes to Star Wars. Evil Luke in Force Awakens, Strike One. The Rogue One squadron turning into the Knights of Ren. Yeah, that was a big strike too, although that one should have been right. A wiser man learned his lesson by now, but if I was really that wise, I probably wouldn't own the prequels on Blu-ray. Don't you judge me, it's for the sake of completeness. Anyway, with Star Wars season just around the
completionists
corner and the recent release of The Last Jedi's official trailer, I am in full Star Wars hype mode. I'm happier than a porg in whatever porgs enjoy. I don't know, it's just a new creature designed to sell toys. A porg plush at a Target retailer near you. Anyway, I recently rewatched The Force Awakens, and after I breathed my sigh of relief that no Gungans had found their way into it, cause you never can tell with these movies, I was struck by how many questions it leaves open. Who is Snoke? Why did the First Order build a giant Death Star with essentially the same weakness as the original Death Star? What is that Insta bread that Rey makes for dinner, and where can I get some because it looks delicious? But seriously, the biggest question has to be Rey herself. Who the heck is this girl? It's a question the internet latched onto in the aftermath of this movie, and it's one that we all know is going to be answered by The Last Jedi. So if I'm going to put my theory hat into the ring, I better do it now. Who are Rey's parents?
I think that Matt Pat is asking the wrong questions. It's not who are Rey's parents, it's who are Rey's grandparents. What is Rey's heritage? That should be proper questions.
The internet has explored this one to its fullest. I think if I look hard enough, I could probably find someone who claims that she's the daughter of C-3PO and a Jawa. But today I'm gonna prove to you which is the correct choice. In fact, I am so confident in this theory that I'm gonna say spoiler alert right here. Yeah, spoiler alert for a movie that has not been released yet. I don't necessarily believe all my theories, but today I think I have this one nailed. And I think by the end of this episode, you're gonna agree with me too. So make sure you stay through the whole episode, then let me know at the end in the comments if you think that I got it. Now,
okay, not to spoil the video, but yep.
Dust off your sensible sweaters and DNA test kits, ladies and gentlemen, because Matt Povich is here to tell some of these dudes that
you are not the father.
To begin, let's establish the details we know about Rey that'll help us reach our conclusion. 1. She was left on Jakku as a small girl and hasn't seen her family since. 2. She's a talented pilot, even a natural. And 3, she speaks with a British accent. Despite receiving no training, that we know of anyway, she's able to use a lightsaber and Jedi mind trick a stormtrooper, suggesting that she is 4, incredibly sensitive to the Force. 5, Luke's lightsaber calls to her in Maz Kanata's castle, and 6, let's remember that classic George Lucas quote that the Star Wars story is, quote, like poetry, it rhymes. So we need a lineage that not only fits the characteristics we know about Rey, but also the thematic elements of the saga in general. Okay, with our main criteria established, let's make a case for Bachelor number 1, from what I can tell, the internet's current betting favorite, Luke Skywalker. A lot of the parallels here are pretty obvious. Rey and Luke both grew up on desert planets raised by people other than their parents. They both join up with Han Solo and then battle against a family member. Remember, Kylo Ren would be Rey's cousin if she's Luke's daughter, who offers to teach them in the ways of the dark side. So you definitely have a big check mark in that whole rhyming story category. Then you have the fact that Luke's lightsaber calls to Rey, seeming to suggest a family bond or shared unity. Now,
or maybe it doesn't actually directly rhyme. Maybe it's just you know, it rhymes on generations apart. Yeah.
Even though Rey and Luke don't talk to each other at the end of The Force Awakens,
oh my god, it's like watching a slow-mo train wreck. A slow-mo train wreck.
We do get some interesting tidbits from the screenplay. Quote, he looks at Rey, a kindness in his eyes, but there's something tortured too. He doesn't need to ask her who she is or what she's doing there. His look says it all, end quote. I know the Force is strong with Luke and all, but some girl just finds him while he's brooding on a cliff and he doesn't need to ask her who she is. That probably means he recognizes her, which he would if she were his long-lost daughter. This is also supported by the crucial line used in trailers for Force Awakens.
The Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it. You have that power too.
It definitely seems like this is something Luke would be saying to Rey, and if that's the case, he would be implicitly looping Rey into his family as yet another strong Force user. We even get a few hints from outside the movies. At a panel discussion with the cast of The Force Awakens, Mark Hamill teased the relationship by saying,
I see my colleague. Daisy.
Now, it's absolutely possible that Grampy Skywalker is just trolling the audience, but there is such a thing as hiding in plain sight. But maybe the best clue we get comes from Kathleen Kennedy, president of Lucasfilm, who gave an interview to the Costco Connection in October 2015 in which she stated, quote, the saga films, by which she means the original trilogy, the prequels, and now the new trilogy, focus on the Skywalker family saga, end quote. Now,
the family saga, but remember, he mentioned that maybe a daughter or Daisy. Interesting, very interesting.
While I'm generally skeptical of the things I read in newspapers printed by stores that sell 30-pound buckets of mayonnaise, this is pretty hard to ignore. If we're saying that episodes 7, 8, and 9 are about the Skywalkers, and that the story rhymes, it makes plenty of sense that Rey would take the torch from Luke as his daughter. But as the internet's pointed out, this is far from the only possible explanation. If you want to talk about Force-sensitive loners living on desert planets, well then meet Bachelor number 2, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That lightsaber that called to Rey, let's not forget that before it was Luke's, it was Obi-Wan's. And when Rey has her Force vision, we hear the voices of both Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor, the 2 actors who've played Obi-Wan. Also, Rey speaks with a British accent. If she's a Skywalker, it's hard to say where that would have come from, but if she's descended from the Kenobis, well, no explanation necessary. And then when it comes to pure Jedi style, Rey closes her eyes when she's in a lightsaber duel, just like Obi-Wan did. She even uses Obi-Wan's famous Jedi mind trick as one of her first realizations of her powers. True, this would mean that Rey isn't exactly part of the Skywalker saga that Kathleen Kennedy mentioned, but how interesting would it be for the series to go from a Kenobi training a Skywalker to a Skywalker then training a Kenobi? Certainly fits that whole rhyme test that George Lucas mentioned. Alright, it's time to get serious. It's not my job here to hand out gold stars and praise everyone's theories. It's my job to get answers. One problem with Rey being Luke's daughter or Obi-Wan's granddaughter is that it's against Jedi rules. In the doctrine of the Jedi Order, teaching number 4 is that Jedi are wary of attachments both material and personal. A lot of the other quote-unquote clues that we just covered can be explained away pretty easily as well. The British accent thing? Maybe Rey just picked that up from Unkar Plutt, the guy she was just left with when she was a small child. I mean, just listen to him.
What you brought me today is worth 1/4 portion.
And sure, it's true that Luke's lightsaber called to Rey and that Obi-Wan's voice is heard during her Force vision, but she also sees Darth Vader and hears Yoda. If anything, she's being called by the Force, not a specific family member. So now let's consider a quote from Daisy Ridley herself. After The Force Awakens had opened, Time Out London asked her about her character's backstory. She answered by saying, quote, "I thought a lot was answered in The Force Awakens. Then, after the screening, I went for a drink with my agent and everyone, and we were chatting away and I realized that, oh, in their minds it's not answered at all." Consider this. If Daisy Ridley thought a lot had been answered in Episode 7, then we're probably looking for more than just a voice in a dream or a knowing look on a cliffside. So I rewatched the movie, and here's a line that stuck with me. Kylo Ren has just captured Rey and is keeping her captive. After mentioning that he doesn't know what happened to her friends, he says, with what sounds like genuine surprise,
You still want to kill me?
Still? As in, wanted to kill you before? Kylo Ren and Rey just met, but he seems to know who she is based on his reaction to first hearing about her.
The two were accompanied by a girl.
What girl?
But how would he know about this random desert planet girl and how powerful she is unless they had shared a common past? Does Kylo Ren know Rey already because she's his sister? Yes! Han Solo, you are the father! Wow, he did not take that well at all. But
oh, wow! Your editing cut is a bit funny and dramatic.
seriously, all the pieces fit. Look at everything that we've covered today. If she's the daughter of Leia, that's where her Force powers are coming from. That means that she's Luke's niece, and that lightsaber is still a family heirloom that would be calling out to her. We never get a good explanation as to why Rey was stashed away on Jakku, but look back at Luke's quote from the Last Jedi trailer.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough that it does now.
In the middle of it, we see his hand emerge from under some burning rubble, followed by an image of what we can assume is the Jedi Temple that Kylo Ren destroys. It's certainly possible that the kind of raw strength Luke saw before and didn't fear was Kylo's. If Han and Leia realized that her older brother was suddenly becoming very powerful and very evil, they might want to get her away from his influence, i.e. hiding her out on Jakku. Speaking of trailer moments, that line from the Force Awakens trailer about the Force being strong in Luke's family still applies here. It's just now he's saying it to his niece instead of his daughter. The British accent could come from Unkar Plutt, or maybe just from her mother's oddly inconsistent British tones in Episode 4.
The more you tighten your grip, Tarkin, the more star systems will slip through your fingers.
Episodes 7, 8, and 9 can still continue the Skywalker saga, as Kathleen Kennedy put it, by following Rey. And the new trilogy can still rhyme with the original. Two Force-using siblings who were separated as children become reunited, with one having to save the other. The one who lived on an isolated desert planet is mentored by an old Jedi who just so happens to tweet pictures of himself on her back in a clear allusion to the Yoda-Luke relationship from The Empire Strikes Back. Oh yeah, and that whole natural pilot thing? She had to have gotten something from her father. Yahtzee! That is all 6 of our criteria covered, and there is still more. If you are still not convinced, don't worry, because I saved the best for last. Here are 3 deep dive pieces of evidence that are gonna sell you on this theory. Number 1, in one of the interviews where Mark Hamill teased the audience about Rey being his daughter, he mentioned that at the initial table read of The Force Awakens, seating was assigned, and that rather than being seated next to him, Daisy Ridley was in between Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. Now, for those of you who don't know, table reads are structured to sit you closest to the people your character shares the closest or most important relationships with.
Huh, interesting.
She shares a lot of scenes with Han Solo, so sitting next to Harrison Ford makes sense.
So there's something called the table reads. I didn't know that. Did you know about that? Did you? I didn't. I genuinely did not. Fun fact.
But Leia? Not so much. And especially squeezing her in between the two of them is awfully strange if she's not in some way related to them. Point number 2. Actress Billie Lourd, who plays the bit role of Lieutenant...
Oh yeah, by the way, do remember that this occurs before 2020. This video came out in the year 2017. 2017. This video came out in the year 2017, so it was before the global pandemic occurred. Yeah.
Iconics in The Force Awakens originally auditioned for the role of Rey. Why is that fishy? Because Billie Lourd happens to be Carrie Fisher's real-life daughter. If you're looking to establish a family resemblance, casting mother and daughter as mother and daughter ought to do it. And here's the biggest, number 3. The meme-tastic hug that Leia gives Rey after Han is killed. Leia walks right past Chewbacca, whom she's known for decades, and who is Han's partner for longer than that, instead going straight to comforting Rey, a girl she would have never met before. There's a reason why the internet ripped into this moment. It's insane, it's stupid, it's silly, until you consider that Leia might be Rey's mother. And looking at the screenplay gives us even greater cause for suspicion. Quote, the two women move for each other, and Leia takes Rey's face in her hands. Despite her heartbreak, she's grateful. She embraces Rey. A mother's embrace. Huh. Interesting choice of words there. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And may the Force be with you.
May the Force
These are not
be
the
with
droids you're looking for. This is the subscribe button you were looking for. This is the subscribe button you were planning on clicking because with the Star Wars TV show coming out, yeah, that's news if you haven't heard that one, you'll want to make sure you're up to date on all the latest theories about the universe. So click it. It's not a trap.
It's not a trap! Subscribe to the game theorist, the film theorist, my channel, yeah. Oh my gosh, I messed up so badly. Alright, outro. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for our work. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a film theory, and cut. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Please do remember to subscribe. Thank you so much. Alright, video end. Let's react to two more videos. Mordor. Lord of the Rings.
Consider it my personal quest.
Sorry.
Consider it my personal quest to not only empower you with the knowledge you're gonna need to have a
Lord of the Rings. Hi everyone, it's me. We're so sorry. Hi everyone, it's me, and today we're soaring, flying, Lord of the Rings. Fly, you fools.
I consider it my personal quest to not only empower you with the knowledge you're gonna need to have a fulfilling life, but also a fulfilling love life. With that in mind, welcome to the first ever installment of Matt Pat's Guide to Finding the One, Lord of the Ring edition. Hey girl, was your face forged by Sauron? Cause you're precious. What, don't respect Oscar-winning CGI technology? That's fine, whatever. You must be Frodo Baggins, because I'm the one and you've got me wrapped around your finger. Even more accurate, because you just disappeared. Whoa, hey there! You shall not pass! Without giving me those digits, I mean. And he jumped off the bridge. Maybe I should just stick to theories.
You shall not pass! Boom!
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory!
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory! Hi!
Today we're donning our mining hats and delving too greedily and too deep into the theory mines in order to unearth the answer to the biggest question of the Lord of the Rings.
With the echo.
No, not why the Hobbit movies were so bad. Not even I have the answers to everything. No, today I am delivering the definitive answer to the internet's favorite Lord of the Rings theory. Why didn't Frodo just ride the eagles to Mount Doom and drop the ring in? We all know they exist. We know they can pretty much go anywhere. We know they're friendly to the ring bearer's side, so why the heck didn't Team Ring just ride them to Mordor? Sorry, Mordor in the first place.
Let me try this, alright? Mordor.
Honestly, it's like the movie is begging us to ask this question. 85 minutes and 48 seconds into the very first movie, if you're watching the extended edition, which, is there any other way to watch these movies? We see Gandalf GTF out of Isengard on the back of a giant eagle after sending a moth to go get it for him, like some sort of high fantasy Uber. Why else introduce the perfect solution to every problem so early? Just hit up your moth app, call an eagle, and we've got this whole trilogy wrapped up in a cool 45. Well, according to one of the most famous and most popular fan theories of all time, this wasn't a plot hole at all. The plan was to use the eagles to fly to Mordor all along. It's a great theory, really. And if film theory existed back in 2001, I'd be all over this one like a horde of orcs on this other orc that they just decided to randomly cannibalize. Coined the Fly You Fools theory, it was made popular by an infographic from the website Tickled, which miraculously isn't a porn site, go figure. The image spread quickly and the full theory was proposed by Reddit user Vulcan Deathgrip, which, you know, clap in half right out of the gate for the amazing username. To sum it up, here's the theory. Our hero wizard Gandalf is imprisoned by the evil wizard Saruman for failing to join his evil master plan. Gandalf orders up a giant eagle lift on his smart moth, and boom! Giant eagle arrives and zooms Gandalf away. But instead of heading straight to Rivendell to meet Frodo and the rest of the Fellowship, the theory says that Gandalf instead flies to the Eagle's Eyrie, which is a real canonical thing established in Middle-earth to talk with the King of the Eagles. The Eyrie is actually pretty close to Rivendell, but it's on the eastern side of the Misty Mountains, a detail that's important because when Gandalf is escaping on the Eagle, we actually see him veer east over the mountains. So the directions with this theory actually match up. Once there, Gandalf, according to the theory, hatches a plan to use the eagles to fly the ring to Mordor, something we never see or hear any word of in the books or movies. Gandalf and the eagles decide to keep this plan a secret because they need to retain the element of surprise, even retaining that surprise from all the readers and viewers, apparently. So now the question becomes where to meet up with the eagles for maximum secrecy. Gandalf decides they should meet up in the south because canonically all the other areas are overrun with either orcs or agents of Sauron, and they have to meet on this side of the Misty Mountains because, again, according to the theory, the weather in the mountains is too dangerous for the eagles to fly over. That might seem like a bit of a stretch, but the story does happen in winter, and the mountains in Lord of the Rings were modeled after the European Alps, where it's literally like minus 46 degrees in the winter, so it's plausible to say the least.
True, in the winter, especially at the kind of altitudes in the mountain range, nope.
only other option for the trip would have been to avoid the Misty Mountains entirely and go all the way south to the Gap of Rohan. But as literally everyone tells Boromir every time he brings it up, this is right next to Isengard, aka Saruman's base of operations, meaning all the eagles would get spotted immediately and the plan is busted. So left with no other options, they decide they gotta travel on foot to the other side of the mountains, meet the eagles, and then finally fly to Mordor in the south. Unfortunately, the group can't make it over the mountains due to, you know, that aforementioned nasty weather, and the Fellowship decides to go for...
Make me the Gap of Rohan!
No, shut up, Boromir! Stop suggesting it! They go through the
Mines of Moria,
where Pippin literally gets Gandalf killed because he is the worst, but right before Gandalf falls, he utters these 3 fateful words.
Fly, you fools!
According to the theory, this was Gandalf telling the Fellowship what they were supposed to do. Fly using the eagles, but...
It's true, you can say that. Fly, you fools! True.
But go figure, Team Ring is too thick to get it. Honestly though, who can blame him? Instead of using 2 of his last 3 remaining words to insult his team, Gandalf could have made things a bit more explicit, like instead of fly you fools, he could have said fly to Mordor, fly using eagles, even something as simple as fly like and I'm sure everyone could have figured out the rest. So anyway, that's the theory, and honestly I think it's a really cool theory. The problem is, it's just wrong. And take it from me, I know a thing or two about wrong theories. That's right, for once in my life, I'm giving myself an early Christmas present, and I get to poke holes into someone else's theory. Wow, how cathartic to turn the tables for a change. Today, I'm gonna shoot down the eagle theory, pun definitely intended, because it is literally the worst strategy for the Fellowship ever. I mean, honestly, it's almost worse than just straight up giving the ring to Sauron. In doing this theory, I didn't just rely on old Reddit posts from 2012. Oh no, I went digging. I busted out the Lord of the Rings books. I got the Silmarillion. I poured over the letters Tolkien wrote to pretty much everybody. I picked up the Unfinished Tales and the collection of books that are compiled by Christopher Tolkien, J.R.R.'s editor, map creator, and publisher. Books filled with partial stories and scraps of lore. I spent days poring over tens of thousands of pages, and not ebook pages, mind you, literal, physical, actual paper pages, because Christopher Tolkien is some sort of technophobe that won't allow the more obscure nerdy titles to be published in electronic format. So out the window went my Control-F function, and in the window went my analog Control-F function, which is just an index, and let me just say it, those things sucked. And one more disclaimer here, because I know that some people don't consider the Unfinished Tales and letters to be canon because it's that kind of fan base, so I only went with those sources insofar as they didn't contradict anything in the actual books. If there was ever a disagreement, I always defaulted to the information that was actually published. And what did I learn from doing all that? Well, that the lore of Middle-earth is really long and sometimes really dry.
Oh, okay. So it's really long, but sometimes really dry. Sometimes.
And kinda glosses over some big things, like the destruction of an entire continent that gets explained away in a whopping 1 paragraph. So the first thing to know is that in Tolkien's lore, most of the stuff in Middle-earth was created by 3 gods: Manwë, Yavanna, and Aule. Yes, Middle-earth has gods. Gods that, let's be honest, were probably a bit pissed that in 3 Hobbit movies, scraping the absolute bottom of the barrel for any content to fill their excessive runtimes, they still didn't make the cut. Anyway, in the beginning, Yavanna
in the beginning
created all the plants, trees, forests, and animals. Aule comes in and makes the dwarves. Yavanna, worried that the dwarves would literally just mow down the forests to make stuff, creates the Ents to protect the trees. Manwë, feeling a bit left out, sees the stuff the other 2 are creating and goes, "Aw, sweet, would you help me make some eagles? Like, big ones. Big eagles." And boom, Yavanna and Manwë made the eagles, and thus the eagles came into existence. The end. Now, why would you care about any of this stuff? Well, it shows us that the eagles go super far back in the history of this world. And in general, the older stuff is in Middle-earth, the more powerful it is. Except for the dwarves. Sorry, Gimli. But that means in the hierarchy of Middle-earth, eagles rank way up there. The gods, or Valar as they're called, are at the top. Directly below them are the demigods, or Maiar. This tier has some familiar faces: Sauron, Saruman, and Gandalf. And the eagles are just slightly below them. In fact, Tolkien himself was a bit wishy-washy on this point, saying that, hey, the eagles are pretty much unofficially Maiar. But anyway, suffice it to say they rank above all the other races. So why does any of this matter? Well, canonically, and this is a point that the movies don't really do a good job of explaining, the Ring of Power works proportionally proportionally to the power of the holder. You ever wonder why a hobbit was really the safest choice to be ring bearer? Or why this all-powerful ring that everyone is so scared of only manages to turn people invisible? It's because hobbits are a really low-power race in this world, and because of that, the Ring of Power is the least dangerous in their hands. The One Ring can only really use what's in the wearer, which isn't that much when it's being carried by a hobbit. Now, contrast that to the giant eagles, who are practically demigods, and who, according to Tolkien himself, have a wingspan of 30 fathoms, putting them at half the size of a football field. And they're not just big. During the War of Wrath, which was a huge war before the Lord of the Rings series happened, they were able to kill a dragon that was so enormous that when he crash landed, he collapsed 3 giant active volcanoes. These eagles are massive, powerful, and they're immortals who are more powerful than all the other races on Middle-earth. Oh yeah, and they can also canonically see through walls. The eagles are more than just mere birds. They are no joke, and they definitely don't need their power amped up by the One Ring. If you give the eagles an opportunity to carry the One Ring, you're looking at potentially the most powerful Dark Lords in the entire series, if they can manage to fit the ring on their talons, that is. If you think about it, this is the same reason why the ring has to stay out of everyone else's hands. This is why Gandalf never directly touches the ring and tries to keep it out of his sight as much as possible, even telling Frodo that through him it would
wield a power too great and terrible to imagine.
Because Gandalf is a Maiar demigod. The classic Galadriel freakout scene is her basically predicting her own power amped up on the ring, which is again why so many people are required to protect the darn thing. Hey, Boromir, my eyes are up here. Hey. Also notice when the eagles do
one does simply
come into play to rescue Sam and Frodo from Mount Doom as it collapses, when the Ring of Power is no longer around. As soon as it's destroyed and out of the running, then it's safe to bring the eagles in because they're no longer going to be tempted. No one's at risk. And that's exactly when Gandalf calls for their help again. But there's more to this plan being stupid than just raw power. Sauron literally doesn't comprehend the possibility that anyone with the ring would want to destroy it, and he doesn't discover this plan until mere moments before the ring is tossed into the heat of Mount Doom. He can't defend himself if he doesn't know what he's defending against. That's why it's imperative that the Fellowship remain a secret from everyone. And the eagles? Remember, they are the size of Boeing 747s up there. Trying to conduct a stealth mission with a giant eagle to drop the ring into the pits of Mount Doom would be like trying to sneak into a Jamba Juice with a fighter jet. Or, you know what? Maybe we should just believe Tolkien himself. In a letter from June 1958 where he criticizes an unofficial Lord of the Rings film treatment sent to him, going so far as to say it's murdered his story. Yeah, that's harsh feedback. Tolkien directly comments on the script's overuse of the eagles. Quote, "The eagles are a dangerous machine. I've used them sparingly, and that is the absolute limit of their credibility." End quote. Using the eagles to solve all your problems just doesn't make for a good story.
I agree with you. If you keep on using Deus Ex Machina into your story, it just doesn't meet to an interesting, unique, and special, intriguing story for the audience to read. So, having said that, thank you so much for making the stories very compelling. Thank you all so much.
And that's ultimately what we as an audience are here for. And Tolkien, being the incredible writer that he is, knew just that. But hey, that's just a theory. A film
You the comments be like
theory. And cut. Man, finding loopholes in theories is fun and cathartic. Maybe I should just change this channel to be the Theory Buster.
That'll be interesting. That'll be genuinely very interesting. Well, I hope that you find this video very interesting and just fun to watch. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share, subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you're liking us. Once again, I'm sincerely grateful and appreciative that you watched this video together with me. And yeah, thank you so much and hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory, a film theory, and cut. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you so much. Once again, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Subscribe. Oh yes, hi one viewer. Hi one viewer. Hi. Oh my gosh. Hi chat. Just now I saw that there's like a one viewer there, so hi. No, just now I was reacting to the video, so yeah. But thank you so much for coming over. How's the day?
So let's just get this
Jurassic World. Let's start. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch Jurassic Park. Wait, one more time. Let's watch. Oh, one more time. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch Jurassic World. Jurassic Park. One more time. Let's watch. Sorry. Once more. One cut. Hi everyone, it's me, and today. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch Jurassic Park. Wait. Let's watch sorry. Gosh, one more time. Gosh. Hi everyone, it's me, and today. Gosh, one more time. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch Jurassic Park. One more time. Gosh. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch Jurassic Park. Let's watch Jurassic World together. Oh wait, what? It's not appearing. Oh gosh, that was such a good opening. Man. That was such a good opening.
Let's just get this sorted right off the bat. A National Geographic article.
That was such a good opening. Come on.
So let's just get this sorted right off the bat. A National
That was such a good opening. Come on.
So let's just get this. So let's just use while hunting, but that's not going to do all. Let's just get this sorted right off the bat. A National Geographic article estimates that a Tyrannosaurus Rex's top speed is about 12 miles an hour.
Come on, let's do me a favor and
So let's just get this. Let's just get this sorted right off the bat. A National Geographic. So let's just.
It's not working. For some reason, it's not working. Gosh, I can cry.
Sorted right off the bat. Teeth. He confirms that that Vic...
Oh, bingo, it works! Bingo, alright. Hi everyone, it's me. And today, let's watch Jurassic Park! Wait, one more time. Let's watch Jurassic World together!
Okay, so let's just get this sorted right off the bat. A National Geographic article estimates that a Tyrannosaurus Rex's top speed is about 12 miles an hour. Any faster, and its bones would have shattered. In 2013, a woman ran the 100-meter dash in heels in a record-breaking 14.531 seconds, or about 15.4 miles an hour. So, while it may not be easy, it would be entirely feasible to outrun a T-Rex in heels.
In heels and in skirts in that particular outfit. Possible.
So all that buzz around Claire Dearing doing it in Jurassic World, 100% plausible. The real question is, why are you driving so slow?
Oh!
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Theory Park.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Theory Park. Oh, wait. Shouldn't it be Theory World? Well, let's continue.
About a month or two ago, I asked you all on Instagram, @MattPatGT by the way, whether you'd be interested in a Jurassic World theory, and overwhelmingly, you all said yes. So today, as an early Kwanzaa gift, we'll be sticking our noses into one of the most overlooked aspects of the movie, the plot. The whole thing seems pretty straightforward, right? InGen mixes a bunch of genes together to create the freak show of death known as the I-Rex, or should I say...
Verizon Wireless presents the Indominus Rex.
Hashtag not spawn at all there, guys. It's like the Emoji Movie all over again. The I-Rex is too smart for them and escapes, only to have big dinos running around eating people for a second time in any of these parks, and humanity still flocks to these death trap parks. It's a miracle that we don't lose the race for survival of the fittest. Then again, I guess a 2-hour think piece on the ethics of dinosaur cloning legislation would be a terrible movie. Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Jurassic United Nations. Anyway, while everyone else watching these movies loses their minds over whether the kids are gonna become a velociraptor's amuse-bouche, I'm losing my mind over the science. Because while the Jurassic movies deal with some fascinating concepts like genetic splicing and cloning, in Jurassic World, it actually goes one step further. If you stop and analyze the science in the movie, you unearth a fascinating and completely undiscovered plotline that recontextualizes everything that you're watching unfold on screen.
Ready?
Because
Interesting.
here's the truth. The I-Rex doesn't escape on its own. The whole thing was a setup. The dinosaur had help. Let's look at the way the I-Rex escape happens in the movie.
That means you're trying to say that this entire whole incident in the movie is an inside job. What the?
During a routine checkup on the Indominus, the infrared cameras monitoring its pen reveal no heat signatures. This, coupled with claw marks against the walls, lead the team to think that the Indominus Rex has escaped. Despite the potentially huge security breach and the ability to call up the control room and check on the dino's tracker location in a matter of seconds, Chris Pratt decides to just saunter on into the pen, only to find out that, whoops, the I-Rex had hit its heat signature from the cameras and was still in there. You done got fooled! As the humans try to escape, they leave the door open for the I-Rex to escape, and in the process set in motion the hilarious line of dominoes where by the end practically every dinosaur is out and gnawing on the bones of innocent tourists, and all they wanted to do was just educate themselves about the Mesozoic era. Now that all begs the question of how one dinosaur, genetically modified or no, was able to hide its heat signature from infrared cameras and lure its zookeepers into a death trap. Well, according to the beast's creator, Dr. Henry Wu, according to the beast's creator, Dr. Henry Wu, the genetic cocktail that makes up the
Henry Wu.
I-Rex gave the creature some really cool superpowers like the ability to cloak itself and the ability to alter its body heat.
Cuttlefish genes were added to help her withstand an accelerated growth rate. Tree frogs can modulate their infrared output. We use strands from their DNA to adapt her to a tropical climate.
In order for the I-Rex to evade both visual and infrared detection to trick its captors into the cage, it would have had to have used both those abilities at once. The problem is, that is scientific scientifically impossible. Dr. Wu is absolutely right that cuttlefish can change the chromatophores on their skin to create a kind of camouflage, and honestly, it is super impressive. And he's also right that tree frogs can modulate their infrared output through their control of body heat. So for someone lightly versed in animal biology, this explanation totally holds up. But there's one huge problem here. The I-Rex could not use both abilities at the same time. You see, the way the tree frog regulates their body temperature is by changing colors. Darker colors tend to absorb more light, causing body heat to increase, while lighter colors reflect more light, cooling off the frog, or in this case, mutant dinosaur. That's all well and good if you don't care how visible you are, but if you're currently trying to camouflage yourself to match your surroundings and avoid visual detection, you don't also have the luxury of adjusting your body heat the same way a tree frog does.
Huh, interesting. Did you know about that? Did you know about that? Interesting.
Dr. Wu is either just flat out wrong about the science the I-Rex is putting to use, or he's lying. Also, just because I know it's going to come up in the comments, the fact that everyone reminds us the I-Rex can...
They say it can sense thermal radiation, like snakes.
Doesn't disprove anything. Yes, snakes can sense heat signatures. They practically have their own built-in thermal vision that they use while hunting, but that's not going to do all that much to help a hybrid dino disappear from a bunch of surveillance cameras. The only way for the I-Rex to hatch this entire plan on its own is if 1, it was able to sense the electromagnetic waves coming from the cameras in its pen, 2, it had the knowledge those cameras were tracking its heat signature, 3, it had figured out the exact range and sensitivity of those cameras, and 4, it somehow was able to make the connection that those cameras were specifically being used by the humans to monitor it. Even if the Indominus had human DNA in its genetic cocktail to give it super intelligence, we know based on a backdoor in the Masrani blog, an additional site made by the movies supposedly written by the CEO of the park that you can hack into. It's actually a really cool idea that the movie developed in anticipation of the launch, that the CEO gave the orders to start development of the dinosaur in 2012. This movie takes place in 2015. At the absolute most, the I-Rex is 3 years old. No 3-year-old, human or otherwise, is going to be smart enough to concoct the I-Rex's plan.
Unless it's an inside job. That's interesting.
So what?
too.
Hollywood just dropped the ball on another series of scientific facts. That's nothing new. But in this case, I don't think it was a mistake at all. If you look closer, the evidence points to the cameras having been tampered with. By who? Well, the obvious choice is Vic Hoskins, head of InGen Security Division. Throughout the movie, he repeatedly expresses his desire to give the Raptors a field test to prove that they could be effective weapons in war.
What do you need, buddy? A field test.
Look, nature gave us the most effective killing machines 75 million years ago.
Oh, come on, gents. It's grown-up time.
Only his request is repeatedly denied by the CEO of the company, who shows no signs of changing his mind despite all the years of work Hoskins has put into the program.
I've been working for 2 years on an application for those raptors. They can hunt and kill that creature.
Let me be as clear as I can. No velociraptors are going to be set loose on this island.
It's only after the I-Rex escapes and the CEO dies trying to recapture it that Vic is able to take control of the park and finally get the field test he was demanding.
The CEO rejects his idea. If no one rejects his idea, he can just carry on with the idea. Wow, that is both dark and possible. Actually, if you think about it, it's quite possible for the film plot.
Sabotage the system so the I-Rex can escape, and he gets his field test when everyone else denied him. Everything lines up. Everything except for one line. He's surprised when the I-Rex escapes.
Hey, yeah, it's me. We might have an opportunity here.
So it may not have been Vic, but there was one other person involved with this conspiracy that also stands to benefit from the field test. The creator of the I-Rex and most of the other dinos in the park, the secret villain of the entire series, Dr. Henry Wu. At the end of the film, Hoskins begins revealing his plan, only to get himself rudely interrupted. You should have had Henry breed in some etiquette there, Vic. But before he becomes just a meat fleck between some raptor teeth, he confirms that Dr. Wu wasn't working for Masrani in the park, but rather InGen and its goal of developing dinosaurs as weapons.
Dr. Wu, he works for us. Somebody's got to make sure that this company has a future.
In fact, as Wu evacuates the island in the InGen helicopter, we hear him specifically ask,
"Where's Hoskins?" He's sending you and the assets to a secure location. But our deal is still intact.
What deal? What deal? This part of the plot in the movie is very misleading.
Don't worry, you'll be well taken care of.
Dr. Dr. Wu clearly had a deal with Vic Hoskins tied to the IREX,
We
but
didn't
it's
know
likely that that deal was contingent on proving the combat effectiveness of the dinosaur, and there was no way to do that while it was locked inside of its paddock. They had to find a way to release it. But why? Why would Wu want this chaos? Well, remember, a recurring theme through the whole movie is that the park is quickly losing money. In the clip we just saw, Vic said how he's ensuring that the company has a future. The opening moments have the employees, including Dr. Wu, trying to win over potential investors. And in the first conversation with the park's owner, the CEO just completely brushes aside any financial concerns.
Enough about cost. Spend, expense.
The company is going downhill and fast.
While year-over-year revenue continues to climb, operating costs are higher than ever. Our shareholders have been patient, but let's be honest, no one's impressed by a dinosaur anymore.
Dr. Wu sees himself as a scientific genius.
All of this exists because of me.
And from the secret website files, we learn that he received international fame the last time he created a genetic hybrid. And that was only him creating a plant. In short, Dr. Wu sees himself as a god. That's not me talking, that is literally the name of the book that he wrote. The next step, an evolution of God's concepts. But all that goes away if the company goes away. No more job equals no more research equals no more fame. He sees the writing on the wall. He sees investments in the amusement park down, costs rising, and the CEO being unconcerned about all of it. So he started to make alternate plans, a deal with Vic Hoskins and the higher-ups at InGen, to not only secure his own future, but more importantly, the future of his research. Except all of it hinged on a real-life test of the dinosaurs, a test that only happened because one of those dinosaurs found some miraculous, unbelievable way of escaping. Or maybe it was Wu himself making that miracle happen, helping to give the Indominus the little push it needed to escape. Which brings us all the way back around to the science. Remember, it's Dr. Wu who comes up with the false science behind how the IREX manages to escape. The man is a brilliant geneticist. If he knows that tree frogs can modulate their temperature, he knows that it depends on the frog's coloration. He knows that the IREX couldn't evade both types of cameras.
Or he straight out just said a different thing to mislead, to trick them, to misunderstand.
Now look at how this moment is shot. Wu has his back to Masrani. It's clearly a purposeful choice because in this moment, Dr. Wu is absolutely lying. He's the one who sabotaged the cameras, allowing the Indominus Rex to escape, proving that the scariest monster in Jurassic World is mankind itself. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. By the way, you know how animals are pretty much all either warm-blooded like mammals or cold-blooded like reptiles? Well, right now, scientists think that dinosaurs might be in the middle, slightly able to regulate their own body temperature. It's actually called mesothermic. Sea turtles, a few sharks can also do it apparently. Anyway,
Mesothermic. Interesting.
I just thought it was a funny thing to bring up since it means that the IREX would just be able to modulate its body temperature naturally. None of this weird genetic splicing explanation necessary. Anyway, speaking of dinosaurs, take a big ol' bite out of that subscribe button where you can bet that I have more theories on the way as we get closer to the next Jurassic movie coming next year. And hey, if you want more dino analysis, well then check out my game theory on Jurassic World where I examine whether you could actually clone a dinosaur from DNA extracted from amber. The answer is gonna surprise you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm starting to feel a little bit, Jurassic, if you get what I'm saying, so I'm gonna lay down. Hopefully I feel better for next week. See you then!
See you then! Well, thank you so much for watching this video together with me. I hope that you find this video very interesting and educational to watch, quite enjoyable and entertaining. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have any share of us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you all so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory, and cut. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye bye! Bye! Please do remember to subscribe. Thank you so much. Time videos.
But much research I do, there's always that.
Oh, okay. This will be the last video because it's 15 minutes left. If I was to do reaction, it'll probably about 20 minutes. Okay, second last video. Hopefully lah. Hopefully it's last video, second last video. How do I name this? The Force is strong with me. Hi everyone, it's me, and today, oh my gosh. The Force is strong. Hi everyone, it's me, and today, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker's end? Interesting.
No matter how much research I do, there's always that one complaint in the comments about me not knowing the original source material. So today I went down into the depths. And you know what, random commenter? You were absolutely right. There, buried deep in the obscure, forgotten lore, was the answer I was looking for. The Last Jedi is the name of a Star Wars comic from 1981. So obviously the plot of the new movie will be clearly inspired from that. So let's see what Disney has in store for us. In the comic, Luke and Leia travel to a remote planet to rescue a prince. Sounds plausible. And it's there that they meet a brain-damaged bug man who carries a stick like it's a lightsaber. Okay, and that guy's name is Jedediah. So when he dies, Luke refers to him as the Last Jedi.
Oh! Last Jedi. My gosh.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory! Hi!
The show that'll tempt you to give in to your skepticism and succumb to the dark side of your favorite franchises. Do it. So,
do it! Subscribe to my channel! Subscribe!
Last Jedi is right around the corner. The red carpet world premiere is happening later this week. And you know what? I have something to prove. I've already gone out on a limb to make a prediction as to who Rey's parents are, but I think I can go one step further. This is my last chance to prove to you that old Team Theorist over here is digging deeper and looking closer at the evidence than anyone else out there. And what better way to prove that I'm worthy of my theory salt than by predicting how this year's biggest blockbuster is gonna play out before anyone even gets to see it.
Alright, when you mentioned theory salt, what salt are you talking about? I mean, you made salt with your tears. That's a real episode that he made in the future in the year 2021. Literally just recently.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Before anyone in the world sees this movie, I am gonna call the major twists of Star Wars The Last Jedi based on trailer analysis and good old-fashioned research. And to make things a little more interesting, let's put some stakes on it. If I'm right, then you have to subscribe to this channel, come back to the Film Theorist channel, and force push that subscribe button. And if I'm wrong, I don't know, that's your side of the deal. Let me know what I should do in the comments. Upvote the thing that you want to see me do. I'll see it, we'll make it happen in a future video.
Just as Prince.
Deal? It's only fair. No weird kinky stuff. Deal? Deal.
Alright, so I'm gonna guess you make the deal of making, I don't know, a third channel? Another channel for Theorists.
I'll just assume that you're making a handshake gesture towards your computer screen right now. Like I am. Like an idiot. Okay, so if we're sticking with the whole Star Wars rhymes George Lucas quote thing, then The Last Jedi will be the tense middle chapter like The Empire Strikes Back. At least, I hope it's the dark and surprising Empire Strikes Back middle chapter, and not the slow-paced, terrible dialogue Attack of the Clones middle chapter.
I don't like sand.
Oscar-worthy!
And judging by the hype director Rian Johnson is giving his own movie, we should expect the unexpected. He's teased that moments of the movie will, quote, shock the audience, and that one scene in particular will leave us unable to breathe. So it's my task today to figure out how this movie is gonna take our breaths away Vader style. There's a lot we don't know. I mean,
take our breath Vader style, force choke.
We don't even know some of the character names. One of the new characters being introduced to this movie is played by Benicio del Toro, but everyone has been super tight-lipped about what his character's name actually is. It seems awfully suspicious. I mean, officially he's labeled as DJ, but DJ? Yeah, not buying it. Nice try, marketing people, but you expect me to believe that a badass Star Wars character is gonna be named after a teenage girl from Full House? Besides, some dude at GameStop already determined that the toy version of this character has a helmet inscription in Aurebesh that translates to Don't Join, aka DJ for short. My prediction, this character is going to be the Lando Calrissian of this movie, the laid-back, smooth-talking double-crosser.
Are you slimy double-crossing no good swindler?
Anyway, that's just a random observation. Get ready to get those sub-fingers a-clicking because I've looked at all the information I could find and I am confident that I've got the ending of The Last Jedi figured out. And Rian Johnson is right. It's shocking. Now, you know...
Shocking! Okay, let me try. Shocking! It doesn't work. Once more. Shocking! Now that works.
You know how movies sometimes reveal a bit too much from their trailers? Well, I've now seen the teaser trailers for The Last Jedi more times than I've seen the sun in the past few months, and I believe the clues to the plot of the movies are there in a few very important quotes and images. Let's start by reviewing the main things that we see and hear across these. Luke is training Rey on Octu, but doesn't seem too happy about it, and might actually quit, leading us to important quote number 1.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
He also has a major hot take on the Jedi, and important quote number 2.
I only know one truth. It's time for the Jedi to end.
Over in Kylo Ren land, we get a little monologue from Snoke talking about how special he is, and important quote number 3.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something truly special.
Kylo Ren's philosophy about his parents is pretty well summed up in important quote number 4.
Let the past die. Kill it, if you have to.
And finally, Rey is feeling a bit lost herself, and based on the trailer, seems to be asking Kylo Ren for help in important quote number 5.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
As far as imagery, in both the teaser and the trailers, we get a look at something very rare in the Star Wars universe. Books, including one specific book with a very mysterious symbol on it. And lastly, we have an image of Snoke helping Rey achieve her yoga goals by forcing her into a painful backbend. These all might seem
yoga pose. Oh wow! Well, technically speaking, is a yoga pose. Technically speaking,
like disparate pieces, but there's a pretty clear through line here. Although the whole crew will absolutely be in The Last Jedi, this is primarily a movie about Rey, Luke, Kylo Ren, and the bonds they form, and more importantly, the bonds they break with each other. So let's start the deep dive predictions with our OG hero Luke Skywalker, and what we can expect from him. Obviously from the trailers, he has some help to give Rey, but it's not like she's gonna show up and everything goes off without a hitch. The 2 Luke quotes I mentioned before gives us a strong indication of prediction number 1, he will not finish Rey's training, much the same way that Yoda was reluctant to train Luke and then never finished doing so in The Empire Strikes Back. As for why Luke believes the Jedi need to end, that conclusion is probably connected to why he's on Ahch-To in the first place. In The Force Awakens, Han says that the people who knew Luke believed he went off in search of the first Jedi Temple after Kylo Ren turned on him and killed his students.
People that knew him best think he went looking for the first Jedi Temple.
Well, he found that first Jedi Temple on Ahch-To, and the reason he went there is almost certainly to find the books we see in the trailers. That symbol you see on the book is actually the Jedi symbol, meaning that these books are almost certainly the ancient Jedi texts known as the Journal of the Wills. The
Journal of the Wills is a very, very old book. Old book.
Journal of the Wills are basically a source of ancient wisdom and history of the galaxy. You remember Chirrut Imwe and Baze Malbus from Rogue One? Well, they were known as the Guardians of the Wills, so this isn't coming completely out of nowhere. Now, while we don't have a ton of information on what is inside the Journal of the Wills, there are 2 quotes that could be useful to us. The first is from the novelization of The Force Awakens, which states, quote, "First comes the day, then comes the night. After the darkness shines through the light. The difference, they say, is only made right by resolving of gray through refined Jedi sight." Solid rhyme scheme there, Jedi. Picking apart the poetry like a 10th grader learning the fine works of William Carlos Williams, it's clear this Jedi text is saying that the Jedi need to refine their sight to create gray, bringing the absolute dark side and absolute light side together to bring balance to the Force. Which, I gotta say, I am not opposed to. I mean, what good guy doesn't also want to use Force lightning? And now, maybe you'll be able to, and Luke might believe he's the one to make this happen, based on another quote from the Journal of Wills. Quote, "And in the time of greatest despair there shall come a savior, and he shall be known as the Son of the Suns." Now, admittedly, this quote is non-canon, but Luke could easily be considered the Son of the Suns, given his home planet of Tatooine is a giant ball of sand and sadness governed by 2 hot suns. If Luke believes in these quotations, he may believe both that his mission isn't over, and that it's his task to bring together the darkness and the light, maybe even through his own death.
阴阳之分。
which would of course make him the last Jedi. And before you point out that the film's title in other languages points to the word Jedi being plural, keep in mind that the director very directly stated that Luke himself is in fact the last Jedi, and more importantly, that it's explicitly stated that Luke is the last Jedi in the opening crawl of The Force Awakens. Reading sometimes does prove essential, but there's also a clue that Luke's decision for the Jedi to end isn't one he's making passively. He is going out swinging. In the international version of The Last Jedi's poster, Luke is no longer in the background, but is instead in the middle holding a lightsaber. Now, there have been a lot of official Star Wars posters over the years. I looked at them all, but in every single one, if you're shown holding a lightsaber, you are going to be involved in a big lightsaber battle before the end of the movie. Sure seems like Luke isn't gonna go down quietly, and based on the rest of that poster, it means he'll probably end up fighting Kylo Ren towards the end of the film. So, where does that leave Rey? Well, as cagey as everyone involved in The Last Jedi's been about giving things away, they've also given so many interviews that we can start to piece a few things together. Daisy Ridley said at a panel in April that she and Luke might not have a perfect mentor-mentee relationship, and said specifically that, quote, "It's difficult to meet your heroes because they might not be what you expect." This reinforces what I said earlier, that it's likely that Rey won't complete her training with Luke and will end up going off on her own. If Rey recognizes the power of the Force, but then also realizes that the mystique of the Jedi and Luke Skywalker can't or won't give her the answers she's so desperate for, is it such a stretch to believe that she'd turn to the dark side? Dun dun dun!
Dun dun dun!
Yeah. I know that saying a Star Wars character turns evil is basically my whole shtick. Yes, I was wrong about Luke, but don't treat me like the MatPat who cried Sith, because this one seriously makes all of the sense. In a big interview with Entertainment Weekly, Daisy Ridley says that, quote, "The resistance isn't all that much to Rey," implying that she could likely be swayed away from it. Wouldn't the logical place to turn be towards Kylo Ren, especially if he ends up being revealed to be her brother? And let me just say it, I know people disagree with me on the whole Rey is Kylo's sister theory, but I am sticking to it, especially since there is no chance that Disney is letting her parents be Star Wars Battlefront exclusive, non-Force using characters made by EA. Sorry for all you Del Iden truthers out there. And yes, I know in Aftermath it says that Luke left her behind on Jakku, but it doesn't actually say who the parents are specifically, so the answer still has yet to be decided, meaning Han and Leia still makes the most sense. Regardless, I already made a video for that theory, and honestly, it doesn't really matter for today's theory. From their first few encounters in The Force Awakens, Kylo Ren says Rey needs a teacher and that he can be the one to show her the ways of the Force.
I could show you the ways of the Force!
If Rey's looking for a teacher, she knows where to find one. Director Rian Johnson also gives what feels like a pretty big hint in that same Entertainment Weekly piece where he says about Rey, quote, "You're
The will of the Force, but is it the will of the Jedi or the will of the Sith? Or both reject both.
going to meet people who you think are gonna help, but don't. And help is gonna come from unexpected places." End quote. Sounds to me like Rey goes to Luke searching for help, Luke ends up giving up on her, and she's left to turn to Kylo Ren, who is eager to extend a helping hand. This is all further supported by this production photo of Rey with Kylo Ren in the background. She seems awfully calm, considering she's right in front of a guy who tried to kill her in the last movie. But maybe you feel like this would come out of nowhere, that there's no hint of the dark side near Rey at any point. Well, how about this? You remember that Snoke quote from earlier about seeing raw power in Kylo Ren? He's not talking about Kylo Ren. In Taiwan, the subtitles for that very same trailer use a very specific character for the pronoun you when Snoke says
Ta, meaning female ta. There's the ta as in male ta and female ta.
when I
You
found
and you. Female you. Male you.
you. And that character is specifically feminine in the Taiwanese language, not a masculine usage. So unless there's some unexpected backstory on Kylo Ren, Snoke is absolutely talking about Rey. When I found you, Rey. And with this reveal, suddenly a lot of pieces from The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi start falling into place. Snoke sensed Rey in the Force when she was very young, prompting her parents, who may or may not be Han and Leia, along with Luke's help to exile her somewhere where they thought she'd never be found, Jakku. So Snoke went after her older brother Ben instead. Now that Snoke has found Rey, remember that image of the two of them from the trailer, would it really be that hard to turn her to the dark side? Adam Driver says, again in that same Entertainment Weekly piece, which really revealed a lot, that his character Kylo Ren began turning against his parents because he felt they cared more about the Resistance than they cared about him. Wouldn't that be enough to turn Rey against an idol who rejects her and parents who abandoned her? So here is your shocking ending to this year's biggest movie. Rey's bad experience with Luke, coupled with the knowledge that she's Kylo Ren's sister, leads her to ask Kylo to help her find
my place in all this.
One way or another, Rey shows herself as open to the dark side. Luke comes to fight Kylo Ren, and potentially Snoke as well, thinking he'll have Rey on his side, but she turns on him during the battle. The Kylo Ren monologue about killing the past is advice he gives to Rey to help her become who she was meant to be. Maybe Snoke gives her a little force push along the side, and they all unite to kill Luke, officially making him the last Jedi. Oh, pretty dark, right? And before you say that the Star Wars universe would never go in that direction, well, hate to break it to you, but it already has. Granted, this is no longer canon, but in the novel Sacrifice, which is part of the Star Wars Legacy of the Force series, the son of Han and Leia, Jacen Solo, kills his sister's Jedi Master, Mara Jade Skywalker.
Whoa.
So, what you have is a young Solo killing an older Skywalker who also happens to be his sister's Jedi teacher.
Well, that is a very bold decision, bold predictions. It would be very awkward if it was wrong. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Sound familiar? It's already happened in the extended universe once. Now all the pieces are in place to make it happen in the movies. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. Ever wonder about the economic ramifications of blowing up the Death Star? What it would do to the entire galaxy? Are the rebels truly doing a good thing here? Well then, click the box to the left, and hey, here's the subscribe button. Remember, when you see Star Wars The Last Jedi and that ending looks a little bit familiar, remember that deal we made. We shook on it. or at least we both pointed our hands at the screen and did a shaking motion on it. So make sure you hold up your end of the bargain and come back and force push that subscribe button. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go wait in line for the new movie because it is coming out soon, and I want to be the first to see how right I am, hopefully.
Well, thank you so much for watching this video together with me. I hope that you find this video very interesting and quite unique to watch. And if you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you all so much and hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory and cut. And I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye! Once again, please do remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you all so much. Thank you. One more video, Bob. One more video. Bill Cipher, come on. Bingo.到最后只好只做个朋友。Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's find the truth in Gravity Falls together. Mystery Shack.
Good night, Mabel.
Good night, Dipper.
Gravity Falls, it is good to be back.
Woo! Oh my god, so much Easter eggs. Did you guys see the Easter eggs? Easter eggs, hidden clue.
Internet, welcome to Theorists, destroying your favorite show's perfect endings one by one.
Oh my gosh! Did you just notice that? It's like, hello everyone, welcome to Film Theory. Hi, but in reverse. So it's, hello everyone, welcome to how do you reverse film? Theory I'm sorry.
And today is gonna be no exception, partly because Gravity Falls is a show that I never want to end, but mostly because when you look at how this show actually ended, the evidence points to there being much more to this story than we saw play out on screen. Now, the show's final trilogy of episodes, at first glance, does pretty much everything that a great series finale is supposed to.
I agree with you. There is the Weird that means Armageddon, but weird. So Weird yeah, it's around there.
Family grudges are forgiven, loved ones are saved, and evil is finally defeated. But rewatching the finale, there was one thing that just didn't quite sit right with me. In the finale, Bill Cipher, evil Dorito of Gravity Falls, travels to our world to create the apocalypse he calls Weirdmageddon. However, once here on Earth, he realizes that he's trapped in Gravity Falls due to the town's
natural law of weirdness magnetism.
In order to escape and spread his reign of weirdness to the rest of the world, Bill has to get inside the mind of one man, Ford Pines, resident genius, paranormal investigator, and great uncle to our heroes Dipper and Mabel. However, this requires that Bill make a deal with Ford by shaking his hand. To defeat Bill once and for all, Ford and his twin brother Stanley switch clothes to trick Bill into making the deal with the much less able-minded Stan. With the deal made and Bill now trapped inside Stan's head, Ford uses a gun that can erase memories on Stanley, wiping out everything in his mind, including Bill Cipher himself. Stan, in a moment of pure heroism, makes the ultimate sacrifice, losing himself, losing his identity, and losing all memories of the loved ones he left behind. For about 3 minutes. Yeah, it's not all that much of a sacrifice as it turns out, as Stan's memories come back in less time than it takes to mix up a blender full of Mabel juice. So what's going on here? Well, thankfully, journal number 3 gives us a little more context on how all this happened. Quote, it turns out that the memory erase effects can be undone through exposure to important images and people from your past. The reason Stan recovered so much faster is that we began recovery while the erasure was still fresh, less than an hour after contact. End quote. But at this point, you've probably figured out where I'm going with all this. If all of Grunkle Stan's memories weren't permanently wiped out, would that also mean that Bill Cipher wasn't permanently wiped out?
Oh, that's true! That might be a possibility, right? Wow.
It's a question that fans have been asking for the past 2 years. Is Bill Cipher, the main antagonist of Gravity Falls, really dead? And I am here today to tell you no. Bill Cipher is alive and well and living in Paris with Jacques Brel. Sorry, never mind that last bit. It's a